This pathetic planet from the face of the galaxy.
The Force fights with me!
Get on those gun turrets!
Bring her to me.
All Republic forces, pull back!
It is too late to retreat, Admiral. There is no escape for us.
You are strong, child, but I will break you.
I'll never fall to the dark side.
This is but a taste of the dark side.
Oh dear. I think I know what this is. You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything they say just starts...
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude. Dust. Wind. Dude.
Don't you understand, Steven?
Somebody has
has to kill the babysitter.
I'm too old for this shit.
Kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games. Don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
You hate to do it, but at the same time, it's hilarious. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith. We are on episode number 75. And as always, I'm your host, the Fractured Filter here. And for the moment, flying a little bit solo. Trying something a little bit out differently because I am still waiting for my usual compatriot and partner in all this madness. He was popping in and out of the back room. But for right now, he seems to be MIA. But I have an idea. I'm going to be going with something in just a moment. Before I do jump into the topic, because I've already gotten a little super hot, a little super pissed off. What else better to help move a show along than somebody getting heated? But until I get to that topic, let me just roll through the chat really quick, because we did have Mr. Jason Fox from 540 Studio. It was in early saying, "Hail, Fractured Filter, back at you, sir." Wookie was, of course, in the chat. Thank you very much, sir. Says, "Come on already. We were running late. I am very sorry about that. Doesn't always happen. It just happens to be that right now, Hitman is visiting some family. A family member that's hitting the triple digits in age. So he had to be there for such a special occasion. And like I said, I'm still waiting on him. Hopefully he'll be popping in shortly. But like I say, I've got some stuff. Oh, hello. Hello? Oh, don't tell me you're driving.
What's that?
Oh, you would never do that, right?
No, absolutely not.
How are you, Hitman, tonight, sir? Welcome to the potty, pal.
Just delayed as always.
Just starting 17 minutes later, so no big deal,
That's fine. It's okay.
Something like that, I'm just going through the chat really quick, just to see who was here, taking attendance, as it were.
Let's go. So pumped.
Oh yeah. We got I've got a little something extra that, like I was just mentioning, got me a little teased already. So I'm just kind of like it is, just wanting to roll through things really quick. Welcome, Abomination AJ. Welcome to Saturday Night Sith, sir. Caught your guys' show earlier. It was great. Here's the capes. Fantastic. We still got to talk about them turtles at some point. He says, "Just smash that like button, and now that I'm finished, it'd be nice if I had somebody to talk to." We were running a little late, so we're gonna be probably getting that. Crimson Raptor, welcome, sir. Hail, Fractured Filter. Hail, Hitman. SKS, let's go. And he apparently was choosing us over going to see Barbie. No contest. I appreciate that.
So
always gotta love the love. Gotta love the love. Yosi time. Ha. Wookie again with the what the hell. Are we finally? Yep. Little Crimson, 17 minutes late. Don't fail me again, Admiral. We'll do our best to keep within a better allotted time. Static, hey man, he says, "What the fuck? I didn't get a notification." What? Blasphemy. Duke Devil, what's happening, man? Back from the birthday party in time for the show. Awesome. Yeah, it sounded like you're also overseeing another interesting party going on too. That's great, Static. You like them turtles. All right, we are all caught up on the chat. All right, so are you gonna be really able to see what you're doing, or are you getting a little distracted? Right, you?
No, I should be good. I should be good. Like, I'm not going to be like looking at like reading articles, but I'm here for the show. So
You can listen
I
just fine.
basically had to follow this road and make no turns. So yeah, so pumped.
So listen. So oh yeah. Pineapple pizza. Keep drilling that home.
Disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself.
So you two have been. I saw your tweets. You've been, or X's, whatever the hell they're calling them now, on the place formerly known as Twitter. You've been also going through Heir to the Empire.
Absolutely.
Where are you right now in the book?
I just keep. So here's the thing, man. I keep restarting it because I want to get a very. Basically, I want to leave no page unturned. I want to be sure that I'm getting an accurate representation again of Palian and Thrawn, as we saw Palian in Andor briefly, which was just like.
No, he was in Mandalorian season 3. He was part of that weird little like shadow council or whatever the hell that was.
Was he not in Andor?
No, he didn't appear in Andor. That was a different admiral.
I thought he was
or something like that.
Andor. Okay.
No, he wasn't.
Well,
Palian didn't get roped into that apparently.
Anyway, see, I'm just going through it. I've read probably the first like 5 pages 12 times because just the entrance to Thrawn, like Thrawn, it is really chilling.
Yeah.
And I've not watched Rebels, no Wookiee. We got to go over that.
Yes. So, Hitman, he had put out a tweet or Xeet or whatever the hell you want to call it now. Last week. Yeah, it was like last week, right? Mm-hmm. About whether or not we would have to endure going through Rebels. And he put a poll up, he left it to the people, and there was a little war that kind of took place. It was the filthy rebels against the true EU elite, and I'm sorry, you filthy rebel scum, you Filoni furryites, you have been defeated.
Yeah, I really, if I could just speak frankly, I really thought Wookiee was gonna we were gonna watch it due to just Wookiee and Static both just coming out of the woodworks. For a minute there, I pooped my pants a little bit because it was like we were down, but luckily we don't have to watch it. So thank you everybody that voted no. But on the flip side, I kind of I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, as much as I didn't want to go through this ridiculous show, I don't really have an accurate representation of Thrawn within Disney canon. Now, I know it's obviously not. I mean, it's not Thrawn, right? But I don't know how bad they did it. I do know that he was bested by a space octopus whale thing. So, that's pretty bad in itself. Yeah. So, not gonna be watching it. Sorry.
But Wookiee, he put up a good fight. I'll give him that.
That boy did, man. Just out here tweeting everybody.
He had his callers. He had his callers that he tried to bring into this. Like the filthy rebels trying to bring in Nogri and stuff like that. Us, those of the true Thrawn alliance, we won out. I definitely reached out. I went to people like on my end of the things. I went to the Rhino. I went to OG Star Wars, Tim and all of them. And so the Galactic Empire has brought peace once again to the galaxy.
I was nervous. Boy, howdy was I nervous when Wookiee started like, they need some yeses, and then Static, same thing. But Static did it under the guise of like, they need content. Or we want content, or whatever it was. So
soon we'll walk easily to Galactic Senate to make our feelings known. And just like the Emperor, I will liquidate the whole Senate. But no, I mean, that was the funny. I was thinking the same. It was the funny thing. Like, okay, this is great and all. We got our unequivocally no. And yes. I did start thinking about it, and it was like, okay, you aren't wrong. We do kind of need. You guys are may end up winning this in the end, anyways. I at least got my boast out of the way. I had my fun. But it's true. I mean, or even like the Chiefster said here, watch like the last few episodes, and you're probably good. But I didn't necessarily disagree with the aspect of, yes, you sometimes need a frame of reference, especially if you're wanting to nitpick, or not nitpick, but certainly rip apart more just as effectively the show that we're getting, which is effectively another season of Rebels.
Right.
So just read Wikipedia. There you go. You just read the Rebels Wikipedia page. So
what, do you feel like we need to watch this now? Is that what I'm?
I don't think we need to. I understand the point of it, of maybe checking it out, but hey,
I don't know, because I will lose my ever-loving mind if I watch the scene where he's bested by a squid. I'll lose it. I'll lose my absolute mind.
I know. But okay, so now that we've got that. Fractured about to do a 2:30 a.m. ballot dump. I would never do such a dishonest thing. Never. I'm not turning heel. But okay, so back to Heir of the Empire. So you're still in like what, the early pages of the book and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. We like, because we're listening to the audio book for our commute and everything. So we just are getting to the point now where Mara Jade is just kind of, well, they just got attacked by the Vornsker. He got especially attacked by it, and she's starting to kind of clue in Luke to just who and what she is. And the whole Jabba sail barge and stuff like that. Getting to a really good point. I also know that because this is also the 20th anniversary edition, so they inserted the music from Revenge of the Sith and everything.
Oh, did I tell you on the last show what these shysters did?
I think you did something about altering one of the digital books, but then it switched back to it. You said?
Yeah,
something weird like that.
One of two things happened here. I either bought the anniversary edition on the audiobook, and I bought the regular hard. That doesn't make sense, because the anniversary edition is different than the regular book. So no, these shysters reverted it back to the just the regular reimagined cover. I would not make that mistake. So then I had to go out and rebuy the anniversary edition, but because I'm one of these guys where I read and listen to it at the same time.
Yeah.
Because then I'll highlight stuff, and I like to just take notes and whatnot. So, but this is also the problem, because now, like I said in my tweet, X, whatever you call, I don't know what you call it. I've also been on a Revenge of the Sith kick.
Nice.
I've watched this movie like 4 times in the last 24 hours. So I kind of wanted to read the book.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But then as I sat in the airport, I was like, well, here's the deal. You have less than a month to prepare for this atrocity that's coming out. So you should probably just read Heir to the Empire. The real folks
the real Heir to the Empire.
Heir to the Empire, not this Ahsoka garbage.
Duke,
well,
I know.
Another thing?
I know you subjected yourself to Secret Invasion. I know, you poor son of a bitch.
Oh, me?
No, not you. Duke Devil.
Oh, well, that's another thing, because I was on Jason from 540 invited me on his show last week or something, and I was a fish out of water. So like, I love the fact that he's DC, but he's also Marvel. So like, just talking about like anything Marvel, I'm just like a fish out of water. So like, we watched the new trailer for whatever Dog Water movie's coming out. There's a lot to talk about tonight. Yeah, so like, I just that whole thing looked just like just garbage. Saw a post where Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury's making out with an alien. That's cool. Not really.
Yeah, that's one of the scrolls.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a real thing or if it was fake.
I believe it was from the show. Yes. What did I miss? My dog decided to eat 3 medium pizzas. Damn, your dog was hungry. But I hope you kicked the dog's ass a little bit.
So an interesting thing really quick. So, I noticed with like some of the Marvel movies, well, maybe not the movies, but like the toy companies will like pump out these toys like 6 months before the movie like even releases. I've seen this in like with the last couple like Marvel movies, maybe also DC. I don't know. I can't really talk crap on Marvel because freaking the Flash toys went on clearance before the movie even came out. But boy howdy, is there all this Ahsoka stuff coming. They have this Ahsoka headband toy mask thing that you can buy, so probably don't buy that. It's only a whopping, I don't know, $59. That's cool. But yeah, it's like they're pumping a lot of these toys for. They
always seem to drop early too, like well before.
I don't know why. I have no idea.
I don't know
why.
either. It's the weirdest thing.
But so I don't know. We have less than exactly a month, I think, before this thing drops. Right? 24th?
Something like that, yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe, on the last show we talked about like trying to find out if there was like an actual like list of like essential episodes to watch. Not that I want to watch them, but
remember I pulled them up the week we were first discussing your poll, and I had a list that could be used to kind of be the essential guide to get through Rebels.
So I don't know.
Apparently the Ghost got funded on HasLab.
Hopefully the list is only like 4 episodes.
I'll send it to you again because we looked over it.
Can't remember. It was so long.
It's like as the seasons went on, there was more episodes, pretty much, and it like the season 4 was like you had to basically watch the whole season. It was like 2 or 4 episodes that was like, okay, no, you don't have to watch those, but the rest of it, yes. So
I just don't really want to watch any of them. But then I kind of do, because it's like, how much more trash are we going to be able to talk if we at least... you've watched Rebels, so you obviously have an understanding.
I barely remember... Dude, I like did like a memory dump on that show and completely forgot it. Like, I know... I remember bits and pieces, but... like the whole thing, nah. I have not remembered everything about that show. So like I just know like the bits and pieces. I know they had Rook, they killed him. Palin was around. They had the weird bowl cut lady that seemed to be kind of like the Palin stand-in almost, even though they had Palin right there. It was weird. They were trying to get more mystical with the Force, at least their half attempt at it. Brought in a Doctor Who actor to play a giant moose-looking thing. Kanan got blinded. People died. The stupid World Between Worlds came about. And Thrawn got tentacle monstered, so.
Yeah. Sounds... If I venture to take a guess, that probably is accurate. That sounds like something Disney would do.
Effectively. Here it is. Yeah, here it is again. So this is apparently the episode guide for Star Wars Rebels, if we so decided. Season 1, like it was, had a few episodes. Season 2 was like the lightest, pretty much. But like you see, Season 4 is basically whole season, save for like 4 episodes.
It's so interesting because, like, based off that leads me to believe, and I could be wrong, I'm not the most logical guy, but that leads me to believe that the pacing of this show is absolutely terrible, or they just had no it's like, so they like just, I don't know. It seems like you have to watch season 4.
Well, that's kind of like where things just kind of kick off into the end. Yeah.
Is there, how many seasons was there?
4.
4?
Yeah.
See, I was thinking there was more than 4. Because Clone Wars was 8.
7. Yeah, 7 seasons, I think.
Was it 7? I thought it was 8. 7 seasons. So I don't know. I don't even know why. Like, I was so happy that like we got an unequivocal no, but here I am like, well, how? Like, it's just thoughts of like, well, maybe just like watch just like one, just really see how bad it was. Because like you mentioned, so like I've heard multiple people reference like Space Aladdin, but I thought it was just like you know, this dude that has powers in space. But I had no idea that he was an orphan. This guy had like no parents. Is that why they called him this Space Aladdin?
Oh, Space Aladdin? Yeah.
Yeah. Is that why?
Yeah. Well, no, and he was a dirty street urchin kid, stuff like that. I just think he was missing. I think he was just missing the monkey.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, he was just kind of jokingly called Space Aladdin. That, and I think just because it was Disney.
Probably.
So.
Instead of a monkey, he has a
Koikian monkey lizard?
Yeah, that's what he has. That's his Abu. I don't know why I can never say that darn thing.
It's kind of a goofy word.
Say it again?
Koikian monkey lizard.
Koikian monkey lizard. Yes. I mean, the word monkey's in it, so like, wouldn't that be just that? I mean, that would be hilarious, actually. What's on the docket?
Well, okay, so this one just sprung up on me, and I wasn't expecting it. I kind of forget that I get these little newsletters, and it's in regards to Mortal Kombat 1. Oh, now I've already kind of expressed my feelings about Mortal Kombat prior with that last trailer that they did. This I saw, and it just kind of, so it definitely got me a little heated. I almost went off on Twitter. I kind of held it in because I'm like, this will be good. Yeah, I'm with Static. I'm with you. I can't stand the name either. The whole Mortal Kombat 1, I can't stand it either. Not my favorite. Honestly, just should have just called it fucking Mortal Kombat 12 or 13 or whatever the hell they're on now, or 5, or just, it's ridiculous. Or just come up with another titled name like they used to. They had Armageddon and shit like that. Go with that. Anyway,
so they literally called it Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, this is literally it's such shit branding. But anyways, yes, Mortal Kombat 1 combat characters, combat pack characters revealed. Let me change something really quick on that. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this so well, but so yeah, we got this combat pack characters revealed. And okay, great. You're going to bring in some new characters, but really we're already announcing these packs, and this has unfortunately been the constant trend with freaking gaming in general. They are already announcing their DLC packs, their downloadable content packs and crap like that already off the bat. Problem here that I'm especially having, for one, is of course the stupid reveal. We already got, oh, hey, guess what, guys? Even though you've purchased the game, which is going to be now at $70 because they raised the prices on all the freaking games, but we've of course already got a combat pack ready for it for probably launch day. And then on top of it, all we are getting is 3 Mortal Kombat characters and then 3 characters from other properties. We got Omni-Man from Invincible and Homelander from The Boys, which to me are just 2 freaking evil Superman knockoff dipshits. You got Peacemaker, aka John China or John Cena, which I'm just like, why? If anything, we should be getting some Mortal Kombat characters that maybe we haven't seen in a while.
It's very interesting because Call of Duty just released, well, not just, I mean, it's been out for probably a couple weeks or so, but released to the Boys. There's a DLC. There's like Homelander, Starlight, and then my favorite, it's Black Noir because he's supposed to be a version of Batman. But fun fact, Garth Ennis, who did Batman Reptilian, did The Boys, and I've heard he's just a major edgelord. Like, he just his writing is like, so I've not read, like, I have Batman Reptilian. I've read like the first like issue, and it is it's Black Label, so it used to be like Vertigo. Black Label used to be Vertigo, but it is very edgy. It's very yeah. So, I mean, I can only imagine what The Boys is. But anyways, I just find it interesting that like,
yeah. Well, and this is the thing, like, we've already had Quan Chi in basically most of the games, most of the new games since the reboot. And then Ermac kind of disappeared, I think, with 11, and then so did Takahashi Takeda, who is Scorpion's apprentice in Mortal Kombat 10. I liked his character, and he had a good play style. I enjoyed playing as him. I'd have to play it again just because I don't remember the exact weaponry that he used, but I do remember like his style was pretty neat, and he was kind of like part of that next generation sort of thing that was going on a little bit with that game. All right, but how about, again, like I say, these characters could be characters, Ermac, Quan Chi, and Takahashi could be characters that are already in the freaking game. Like I say, let's bring back some old characters that we haven't seen for a while. They have a plethora of them from the PlayStation 2 era, especially with Armageddon and some of those earlier games, the Deadly Alliance and all that. We could see some old characters, make a reappearance. Shit, why are we getting then, like I say, just licensed out freaking characters? I don't know. Is it just me that's just kind of like, what the hell with this sort of thing? I'm kind of, sometimes I feel a little out there. Peacemaker, I can't see him. Yeah, he's right there off to the side. Gamers eat up all this shit, so they deserve it. Not wrong there. Crimson Raptor saying, I remember when $50 got you a complete game. Yes, so do I. And they do have a trailer for this, which I have ready. Let's take a peek at that really quick, because this will be my first time watching that. Okay, that's the roster pack reveal. And let me know if you can hear it or not.
Battle between good and
Good to go.
evil is eternal.
That really is just it. We don't even get to see any gameplay, nothing for that. All right. I would have thought there would have been a little more than just them walking on screen, but all right, keep it bare minimum, guys. Really giving me the incentive to want to check this out. And then
how many Mortal Kombats have you? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. What were you gonna?
Well, I was gonna say, how many Mortal Kombats have you played? Because I played the old school, like the Nintendo game, the Nintendo ones, or the Sega. Nintendo. I think they were on Nintendo,
Save?
Right?
Yeah, they had on the Super Nintendo. There was Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, and I think they released Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate on the Super Nintendo as well. And then after that, PlayStation had Mortal Kombat Trilogy, as so did Nintendo 64, and they had different characters on each one. Mortal Kombat 4 came along. That was, I want to say PlayStation. That's when the PlayStation 2 kicked off. And then like I played all of them up until I stopped at 11. 11 I didn't play at all. I just watched the gameplay storyline. I was kind of tapped. I was like, after 10, I was just kind of done.
Just done with it.
Yeah. And I saw what the story was. I was like, okay, fine. Doesn't make me want to buy the game because they were also doing a lot of that character pack stuff with that as well.
Right.
And I'm just kind of done playing those games. And also with this, there is a new characters revealed in the Umagi trailer. Get the first look at Lemai Tanya Baraka, reimagined for Liu Kang's era. Now, this has been also stirring up the pot a little bit with Twitter because apparently they made Tanya look ugly as hell. So this will be interesting to take a look at as well. I have that trailer ready to go too. Here we go.
Umgadi are warrior priestesses, selected from the firstborn daughters of Outworld. From infancy.
Okay, so we're seeing Liu Kang already being pretty involved, and this is God Liu Kang. This is part of my problem with this, is that you have the godly Liu Kang being very interactive with this world and not being like an observer or just somebody staying out of it. He didn't reincarnate himself back into the world to be a regular mortal again. This to me has a lot of problems with it because it takes away stakes from each side. It means that he can just come in at any moment, boom, snap of a finger, he changes time or he reverts to death or whatever, because he has the power, he has the Chronos power at his disposal, and he basically became one of the gods, and basically the de facto god. So I don't know, to me, for storyline wise, that presents problems because where's the stakes? Where's the threat that can come from Outworld? He can just, and what's even the point of a tournament now? Because that was like the whole thing was to prevent Shao Kahn and his forces of invading Earthrealm. And eventually, yes, Shao Kahn kind of reneged on that and caused a bunch of shit. And that's how we got to needing to reboot Mortal Kombat in the first place. But we also took a lot of time before we got to that point. We got up to 9 games before having to reboot for the first time. This time, we only took like 4 games. Anywho.
From infancy, they are trained to defend the royal family.
I will prevail, Earthrealmer. This fight is more important to me than you can ever know.
Li Mei used to lead the Umgadi. It was on her watch that the princess's father was murdered.
Surrender if you wish to remain unharmed.
Let us pass, Tanya. The Empress and her family are in danger.
Are you so easily taken in by lies?
Yeah, they did not do her character any justice at all.
Let's see if you still fight like an Umgadi.
My edge hasn't dulled, Tanya.
Once again, you prove incapable of protecting the royal house. Are you unwell, Princess?
I am fine, Tanya.
For you to hold the throne, we must keep your secret.
With Liu Kang's help, maybe they'll find a cure.
If he could have helped, he would have done so by now.
But wait, so she's now basically supposed to be a biological sister to Kitana, but still has the Tarkatan blood in her and is hiding it? Why didn't Liu Kang just wipe that whole aspect of her completely away and make her 100% her sister to Kitana? Why have Melina still be that weird, like, clone aspect of... I don't...
We are victims of Tarkat. It disfigures, then debilitates. In time, it will turn us all into bloodthirsty monsters. Death is our only release.
Whoa, what? They're gonna already have gore. Okay, so we've got a preview here of gore. Okay, so I'll be 100% honest here. I have not been keeping up on everything Mortal Kombat. I'm a little out of the loop because this is a little bit surprising to me. I didn't realize that Goro was already a confirmed character, or at least playable character in this game. So, oh well.
Priestesses, in my heart, I am still Umgadi. I will always honor my vows.
That's supposed to be Jax? Yeah, I ain't pre-ordering shit. I mean,
that looks absolutely terrible.
Gameplay wise, from what they showed, is still basically like the previous Mortal Kombat, which is fine. You don't have to deviate too much, but I kind of miss when they were a little bit experimental with some of the gameplay aspects that they used to go for. They changed up a lot of the different games, like Armageddon and stuff like that. Like in Deadly Alliance, they started bringing in more of the arena style combat, introducing different fighting styles for each character, weapons and stuff like that. A lot of that was really cool. They were experimental. They were trying different things out. That was awesome. That's great that I'm usually the first person to say, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I will say I kind of miss when they change things up just a little bit here and there. But, that's kind of the funny thing. Gamers, we're just kind of retards. We don't always know exactly what we want. So we just keep bitching about shit regardless. And we do kind of put people through a tizzy. Anyway.
Are you going to buy it? Absolutely.
No. Oh, hell no. I ain't buying this. It is. I'm checking this stuff out and everything, but again, the microtransactions that are probably gonna be part of this game, the already DLC pack that they have planned for this. No, I'm done playing those freaking games, man.
How much do you think they actually make in microtransactions?
Depends on the game. Because
some games, Call of Duty.
Some games keep games afloat. That's why they call them whales. The people that are like constantly dipping in and buying microtransaction content. That's why the Star Wars: The Old Republic to this day is still around. That's why World of Warcraft is probably still around too, because I think they did the same thing. It's how some MMOs stay alive. They have to adopt the free to play, and then they have to start adding in a boatload of microtransactions in hopes of getting the illustrious whale to keep their game going. That's why they have what they call gacha games, which are usually like the Japanese mobile games and stuff like that. So I
find it very interesting that, and I don't know if this is legit a thing, but I feel like these games, like the online game, like what do you call them? The downloadable games are more expensive than the actual physical copy.
Sometimes, yes. Especially once you for some people, once they've shelled out a bunch of money into it, yeah, it ends up being more expensive than just a regular $79 game or $70 game at this point.
Yeah, but that's insane. That's totally that's asinine.
Yeah, but like it is too. Like I've already said, with this storyline, with what they're presenting, no, to me, presents zero to little no threat. I already know that. Yes, I mean that's the thing. Like Liu Kang eventually died. Deadly Alliance was where he got off, and then they had zombie Liu Kang, which was hilarious. But I mean, they killed characters off at points. They didn't show up. They were dead. They were gone until maybe they kind of did some bullshit and brought them back to life. Hey, nobody's ever gone, right?
Right. Well, in Disney, yeah, absolutely.
In superhero fashion. But
yeah.
No, I loved Mortal Kombat. I loved it for the long time. I was playing it from the get. Been one of my favorite fighting games, but yeah, I'm afraid it's just gonna have to be one of those things that I just kind of give up.
After 11 games, if you will, how's the story progressed? Because I remember, like, my knowledge of Mortal Kombat, and like I said, I'm a gamer, but I'm not. I guess I'm not as.
You filthy casual.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm just filthy casual.
I'm just teasing you.
No, for sure. So like my knowledge of Mortal Kombat, man, like I was pumped to be Raiden, dude. Like I thought he was like the coolest character ever. So I didn't.
He's one of my favorite.
As far as like, and then like there was reptilian reptile? Yeah, reptile. And actually, Sub-Zero was my favorite, but then Raiden was probably a close second. And I actually, as I was a kid, at school we would play Mortal Kombat. I'd always be Sub-Zero and or try to kill. Not physically the kid that was Scorpion,
I know what you mean,
yeah. But man, I like, and then Scorpion, like, get over here. And that's why when I saw the movie, I thought I did not like the movie. I don't know if you saw the movie and how you feel about the movie.
The new one or the original?
Yeah, no, the new one.
I didn't really like it. No.
The only thing I liked about that movie was the guy that plays Scorpion. I think he's an absolutely fantastic actor. I'm not going to try to even say his name, but he was in The Last Samurai.
What I thought was so goofy about that though is that they bring Scorpion in at the end of the movie. He does his whole member berries or just kind of jangling keys moment of him going, "Get over here," and then he goes right back to speaking Japanese. I'm just like, what the hell was that? Why didn't
then the other guy, like,
the guy's gonna understand him? Like, does he know Japanese? What?
Well, yeah, like so Scorpion's like Japanese, and then like Sub-Zero's like he's Chinese, so they're literally speaking Chinese and Japanese to each other, and they understand each other. I believe the guy who plays like Sub-Zero's character is Chinese, and that's my understanding. Maybe it's not. I don't. But
and then one of the other problems that I had too was they basically had Kano in the movie. Yeah, Kano wasn't bad in the movie. But I feel like his part was supposed to be Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
The way he was behaving felt more like Johnny Cage than it did Kano to me. And to me, like, I think of Kano from like the 95 movie where, yeah, he kind of had some, he kind of was a little smarmy and kind of like made some light joke here and there, but like he was still kind of, he was a criminal. He was a dirtbag. He wasn't there to wisecrack and shit like that. He felt like it was more like that role was supposed to be for Johnny, not for Kano.
Well, I don't even know why they didn't bring Johnny Cage. Like I guess it probably would have been disrespectful if they brought Johnny Cage into this movie. But it's like
no, but they hinted at him for a potential sequel. They hinted at him for the sequel bait.
Who are they gonna
Which
get
we still have never
to play?
Seen.
No,
I don't know who you can. I don't know who you could get to play Johnny Cage today.
That would actually be decent. Get the original Johnny Cage. He's probably 60 years old, 70 years old.
Oh God. Let me. Yeah, he's like I thought he was fantastic. That actor was great.
Oh, absolutely.
Hang on, let me. And I know for like the web series they did, they had Casper Van Diem of Starship Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, that's kind of appropriate in a weird way as a sort of actor that's gone, not so mainstream and is kind of trying to earn respect back sort of thing. I'm like, okay, that kind of works out for him. Hang on, let me. No, original Mortal Kombat. That was actor Lyndon Ashby. He was great. I thought he was perfect as Johnny Cage. I mean, like a lot of that cast was great. Robin Shou is Liu Kang, freaking Hiroyuki Tagawa, Shang Tsung. Dude was fantastic. He hammed it up in the right places. It was perfect.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to find a better actor to play brain fart. No, the
Shang Tsung?
Yeah, Shang Tsung. Thank you. I was like, brain fart.
Yeah. No, he was great.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think he's had a bad movie. He was fantastic in Johnny Tsunami. So, like, yeah.
Nah, it's unfortunate. I loved Mortal Kombat for the longest time, but yeah.
After 11 games, it's hard for me to fathom, like, it's kind of like the Final Fantasy games, like, at one point in time, do you start losing your mojo, like creating content for like the story, right? Like, if you have to have Liu Kang in God mode, little G, like, there you just call it old dogs lie, man. Like, just I don't know. I don't want to see like I'd much rather a story end than continue to try to just
No, I would much prefer they decided to try and create a new game IP or something like that. So start with something completely brand new, move away from Mortal Kombat, start something different.
Yeah.
I'd much prefer that. Absolutely. Let me just go through some of these comments really quick. Oop, I can play some base characters. Freaking sold, says Chiefster. Crimson Raptor, well, I'm sold. Okay. Let's see. And yeah, God in Mortal. Oh, and hang on. Sheester said that is kind of base. I became a god lowercase, so I'm gonna interfere. I mean, I guess he has to take a non-interference policy. He cannot intervene unless there is some severe cheating, like the old gods. If there's some major cheating going on, they got involved.
So why even bring him in, though? If that's the case,
that's
nostalgia.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, this should be
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, if you got to bring in this character, this is a sure sign, in my opinion. You need to be done. I don't know. You can make an argument, I guess, on both sides. They're like, well, no, we love Luke King. We want him to be, blah blah blah. And then other people are like, just be done. After 11 games, like after $400, spent on these games, like, and each one progressively gets worse. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, as an Xbox guy, I know you're PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation. PC yeah, it's PC. But like Gears of War, I like internally, like I would have loved them to continue that story. But on the flip side, like how I don't want to see that game become trash. So like, yeah, the last game probably wasn't my favorite, even though it was more explorable in a sense. You like, I don't know if it's technically MMO, but yeah, like I would have loved to see it continue, but the fanboy in me, I guess, is like, I'm okay with you ending it at 5. And don't you dare make a movie.
There's nothing wrong with just kind of, letting the heroes or whatever sail off into the sunset and be done.
Not like WWE that brings all these old school wrestlers that were prevalent in the 60s back into the ring to where they do their finishing move, but it takes them 15 minutes to do it.
Right.
Like,
oh Lord.
Which is just it's just proof that you have no creative ability.
This is called Let It Be Done, man. Let it be done.
Like, my goodness. I mean, yeah. Anyways. I will not be playing it, however. I will not be playing it.
Neither will I. Like I said, it's unfortunate. Like, I might check the C's when it comes out, see what loot the digital C's afford me, but you know what? No. I'm pretty much kind of tapped out on that.
I have to say that here I am talking crap on, well, not really crap, but I'm bringing up the microtransactions and, the boys, and they did it for Call of Duty. Now they're doing it for Mortal Kombat. I did buy Black Noir, but don't you dare say anything because I have a good reason for it.
Yeah, and what would your good reason for that be?
Because I'm a Batman fan, and he's based off Batman. So put that in your cigar and eat your waffle.
But is that really a good reason?
Absolutely.
To support a horrible company like Activision. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
Listen. we all. Not even gonna go there.
Nah.
I'm not supporting Activision.
Yes, you are
getting the character that closely resembles Batman. That's what I'm doing. That's what I tell myself.
You know what? I won't take that away from you. I'll let you have that.
That's what I'm doing, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Chiefs are continued on, and yeah, God in Mortal Kombat kind of sucked. Didn't Sub-Zero kill some in his game? He did. The Mortal Kombat Mythology game. That game was. I'm gonna have to replay through that one of these days. It's hard. It's freaking tough as nails, especially for some of the platforming shit that you do. But it's kind of fun in a way.
You're still a gamer. Are we still living in the days where like you have like cheat codes where you would open a book and it would show you like YYBA to do a move? Is that still a thing?
No, that's what GameFAQs is for.
Is that what it is? I remember going into GameStop and buying a book that had, or you look at when the internet, when you were able to start looking up stuff on the internet, I'd start looking up. Oh hell, I think it was before like Yahoo or whatever whatever search engine it was to look up cheat codes. But yeah. You couldn't do it with Nintendo, though, I don't think. I don't think Sega, you could have done cheat codes.
No, there were cheat codes for the old systems, too.
Was it really?
Yeah. Well, dude, for Mortal Kombat 1 on the Sega Genesis, there was the blood code that you could enter in so you could get the blood. Yeah, and like Static says, GTA still does cheat codes. So did Saints Row. I can't speak for the newest Saints Row. I just know for the original Saints Row games, yes, they had cheat codes.
Still wondering if we're ever going to do a Steam Deck.
You're going to get one or?
No. Well, we talked about, we brought up on the show way back. But,
I think I've met it. Yeah, we had talked about that.
I just can't come to terms spending $800 when I can literally go get it. It's nice because you can play computer games, but that's a lot of money. At that point in time, that's like half of a actual PC that you could build. So, but you can take it on the road, Hitman.
It's like for somebody that doesn't really have a powerful PC and they want something for some good gaming, so that's kind of a way to go about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't disagree with you. It's a pretty penny. Well, especially if you want the max capacity version and everything, you can go for the lighter versions of it. But no,
yeah, but at that point in time, it's like they really are putting you behind between a rock, placing you between a rock and a hard spot, because it's like, yeah, we're going to offer you this for $500, but X amount of, you're getting X amount of RAM or whatnot. And they almost force you to buy the most expensive one, or the I don't know, maybe that's not. I look at it looking at the options. I'm not a computer guy. I couldn't even tell you how much RAM you need. My goodness, somebody at work tried to get me a computer with 600 gigs of RAM, which I don't know how much that is. Yeah, you can stream in 4K and 1080p plus, and you have all the RAM you need. And then another guy was like, absolutely not. They need 600 gigs of RAM. What are you trying to run, the Pentagon? He's like, I've got 20 gigs of RAM and I can play anything I want.
I've got 64 and I'm good. That was that was only a recent upgrade too. So, and a potential. I was trying to find solutions to fixing my damn computer, but otherwise, no, you don't need it unless it's only if you're doing certain things. Yeah, you need. It's good to have that additional RAM, but. And then he was
like, and then we can get you 4 M.dot slots or I.dots or M.dots, like the portable RAM. Is that what they're called? I don't know what they're called. Something dot, I don't know, but they're basically you can put more RAM into it on top of the RAM that you have.
I won't lie, I'm sometimes a dummy with that stuff.
Yeah, no, I might as well speak to me in French.
That's why I have plenty of resources to go to.
Did you get your computer fixed?
That's why I've been I don't know if you know.
I've seen you, but yeah, I have. Yeah. I've been seeing you go on Rumble, Turkey.
Rumble, and I've been streaming Fable again, so I've been back at it. We are good, homie.
What was the issue? What was the issue with it?
It was a loose. The CPU fan was loose on it, and then apparently I also had a bad hard drive, but. I think it was mainly the CPU fan that wasn't locked into place. I don't know how it got loose, but it did.
No bueno.
All right. Oh yeah, up and running again. That makes me a happy camper. Especially so I could keep getting back. But then, I recently learned that I forgot to back up my save files for my Final Fantasy VII playthrough that I was doing. So I'm trying to look into the means of recreating and rebuilding the save file. Or I unfortunately might be just doing a whole brand new playthrough. I don't know yet.
You are?
I might. I don't know. I'm hoping not, but it's looking like I may just have to do that. I really don't want to, but it just might be one of those things that I'll end up doing.
It's going to cost a pretty penny.
No, no, nothing like that. God. It just, like I say, it just means that I have to replay through the game. That's all.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah. That's all.
It's incredibly bright outside, just so you're aware. I don't know if you're on your porch doing the stream or inside.
For my neck, it is kind of bright out, yeah. Yeah, Chief, sir, I know. He says, and yet my old clunker, I haven't had to improve in years. Get good, brah. Yeah, I know. Believe me, that was something I was already thinking about. I'm like, we haven't had to touch my brother's computer in a long time, other than when both of our power supplies had basically died out at about the same time.
So they've
but otherwise,
lasted
like, we haven't had
bit.
yeah, his has lasted a little longer than mine. Mine has only changed because I did upgrade the CPU and stuff like that. So then that meant I got a new motherboard. I decided to also change to a new case tower altogether. So mine has gone through some plastic surgery. It's gotten a facelift or two here or there. But
computers sound like they're just expensive.
Hey, it depends on where you're looking, how you're going about it, and stuff like that. But yes, they very much are and can be. It's just, like I say, just all about how you go about it.
I parted mine out for like $1,200, but then another guy parted out for like $18. I was like, why is there a $600 difference? And would you like to know the reasoning?
Go ahead.
600 gigs of RAM.
I think they were messing with you on that 600 gig thing.
I will put in the private chat who it was. You may know who you may know. But yeah, I was like, and here's the thing. You could tell me like, yeah, like I got like put 600 gigs of RAM in your computer. I'd be like, great, thanks. So pumped. Don't even know, not knowing that I just need like 64. I'd be fine. That's how illiterate I am.
64 gigs. I'm thinking that's more. I'm thinking
what?
That's more of what they'd be telling you. I don't know about that 600 thing.
I don't know. I know about as much about computers as I do cars. I can put the car in drive and I know how to turn the computer on, and that's about it. Took me 62 shows to figure out how to share screen.
When I remember telling you early on how to do it too.
Yeah, you're like, it's the tab with the little plus sign. I'm like, where is it? You're like, on the bottom with the plus sign. I'm like, okay.
Everybody in Wookiee's like 600 gig hard drive? Static. What would you need 600 gigabytes of RAM for?
I have no idea. Don't ask me. Run the Pentagon.
I think somebody might have been pulling your leg.
Maybe.
Hitman boomer hours.
I'm a find out who the exact amount. They're like, were you serious? I'm like, yeah. And I'm gonna put it in the chat. Like, no, he was actually talking about, jokes on you all, he was actually talking about 600 gigs of RAM.
Oh, Lord.
This person is also probably the same type of person that puts pineapple on pizza, so maybe he is pulling my leg.
That explains everything.
Love you, Wookiee. I just can't do it, man. I don't understand it. And then people are like, oh, have you ever had Dole Whip ice cream? I'm like, what does it taste like? Pineapple, Dole pineapple with whipped cream. I'm like, absolutely not.
That might not be bad.
Rather eat my shoe.
Uh-oh, you're getting a static now, too.
Who? Me?
Yeah, you. With the pineapple pizza hatred.
Oh, who's all hating on me?
Well, not everybody's on the same boat as you.
Oh, that's fine.
Pineapple pizza lovers.
Yeah. And then
Did you just hate it 100%? Like you just even alone, you wouldn't eat pineapple?
Absolutely not.
Really?
On principle on the map. Oh, absolutely.
Principle. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I'll only watch Spider-Man because of my nieces. Can't watch Marvel on principle. It's on principle. I can't do it. Listen, we have to stand by our principles. And pineapple on pizza.
You and J. Jonah Jameson would have a lot in common then, huh? Hating on the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah, absolutely. I'm very curious why we haven't got, if we're going to get another Spider-Man, though. Or if this last Spider, if that has been it is now done.
I know there was a rumor floating around about a potential Spider-Man 4. God,
Yeah.
I hope not.
Well, you don't want to see William Dafoe again?
Listen.
I've not watched the movie. I've not watched it, but I would assume that the movie is
Way
good just
Home
for
or whatever.
William Dafoe. Yeah. I would say that the only reason why it was good was because they brought back Doc Ock and Green Goblin.
Right.
Like Tom Holland, yeah.
Tom Holland, and we've kind of discussed this. Yeah, I was just seeing one of the articles, so hang on. So yeah, Thomas Hayden Church has heard rumors Sam Raimi may do another Spider-Man movie, another Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, exclusive. So Thomas Hayden Church has now appeared as Flint Marko in 2 Spider-Man films, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 and Marvel Studios Spider-Man No Way Home. If he gets his chance, or if he gets his choice, however, the actor would most certainly appear in a 3rd one. More particularly, Church tells comicbook.com's Chris Killian that he'd love to appear in a 4th Spider-Man flick from the mind of Raimi. Quote, there's always been some kind of, I've heard rumors that Sam Raimi was going to do another Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, and if that happens, I would probably campaign to maybe at least do a cameo, Church says, speaking with us in support of Peacock's Twisted Metal. Oh, God. Heard a bit about
I was talking to Jace on his show last week about, I brought up the fact that I was like, what if Sam Raimi, because I've heard a lot of good things about Sam Raimi, but the question I posed was like, how good do you think another Spider-Man movie would be if Sam Raimi did it and didn't have his hands tied by the studios, which again, unless you take George's route, you're gonna always be at
the behest of the company.
For sure.
Yeah.
But because did he do Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness?
Yes and no.
Oh.
It's again where Disney Marvel Studios hired him on as a director. There's little bits and pieces in the movie, as I've heard, that look like Sam Raimi's style of directing, but the script on record from the scriptwriter was basically written in 2 weeks, and then they started to cobble together the movie. So, and then it usually a lot of times what I've been hearing with these Marvel movies now is that they have a lot of stuff already pre-set up, like the battle scenes and stuff like that. Well, the director will just kind of come in for maybe directing the character moments and stuff like that. So while it was once very interesting, now this is, again, I don't have anything confirmed. This is just kind of what I've been hearing from around of other YouTubers talking about this. But it like the directors that they bring in don't really get their full time with the movie. And I mean, when I first heard about Raimi directing this Doctor Strange movie, bringing him back for a superhero movie, I thought was kind of interesting. He could do something probably pretty trippy and stuff like that if he's actually able to do it.
Is he like known for like horror or like, I don't know what his directing style is.
Sam Raimi is best known for the Evil Dead series. So I don't know if you've seen any of those. No. Evil Dead trilogy 1, 2, and 3 with Bruce Campbell as the star, as Ash Williams. Evil Dead 1 is very much a independent indie film, but you can see that there's those early signs of this, the kind of director he's going to be. Evil Dead 2 is kind of like a pseudo remake, but then a continuation from the first film. That one's really freaking good. That one's like usually everybody's favorite because it's that good blend of horror and comedy. And it's also just even though some parts are kind of meant to be funny in a way, they also are just horrifically terrifying looking. He does an excellent job. That's where I don't know if you ever watched Spider-Man 2 with where it was with Doc Ock, and you saw you got to see when Doc Ock was being operated on by the doctors, how one of the tentacle hands or arms went zooming for one of the doctors, and it goes from that first the perspective of the tentacle. Basically, that's kind of Raimi's style of the way he goes from that perspective, chasing his protagonist. That's kind of one of his little techniques and styles. That was definitely perfected in 2. Evil Dead 3 is more titled Army of Darkness because they did not have the entire rights to Evil Dead because they switched studios, if I remember exactly. And that one was a little goofier. Actually, not a little. That was a lot goofier. It's almost kind of cartoonish in comparison to the second film. Right. And definitely it took Ash in another direction of him being a complete goofball and kind of a dumb character, which I have my own umbrages with. And then they did do the Ash versus Evil Dead series. Season 1 was good. It wasn't, or I should say it wasn't bad. You definitely noticed the change of showrunners and stuff like that towards the end of the series or of that season. And season 2, it was when Ash gets his head shoved up the ass of a cadaver, and he basically then has the man's dong flapping in his face. That was where they were really kind of losing me. Yeah.
I'll lose anybody.
Yeah, I didn't find it particularly funny. I found it really just kind of gross and stupid.
Yeah.
Then they were definitely, you could see those kind of signs of the girl power sort of stuff that we're seeing really heavily now. Yeah. Through one of the characters, especially then when the third season came along. He was kind of like the chick in charge. And in season 1, they were almost starting to do something kind of interesting with Ash too, because they took him to the one character's uncle who was like a witch doctor or something, and he was trying to help Ash kind of break through some of his mental barriers. And I thought it was a really interesting aspect because that actually starts to explain why he started acting so goddamn goofy in the Army of Darkness, was because he went through such traumatic events, especially the first movie. He lost his sister, he lost all of his friends to this horrific demon book and everything. And then continuation in the 2, he's dealing with that after effect. He has to cut off his own hand. All sorts of other shit goes down. So I was okay, that's kind of cool. But then they basically, I guess in true fashion, they just immediately killed the character that was helping him and axed that whole subplot. I'm like, but you guys had something really good there. Like that would have been a really interesting thing to further develop, but no, it got dropped. So, and then Raimi, of course, Raimi then did, of course, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. Again, his sequels was a lot better. Spider-Man 2 is kind of considered the better movie. I still like 1, but I do like 2 a little bit more because especially like the action was a lot more dialed up a bit with the way it was shot for Spidey fighting Doc Ock. Really did a good job of it.
You're talking about the Tobey Maguire movies? Or
yeah, the Tobey Maguire movies. And I thought Tobey was a great Peter Parker Spider-Man. I thought he was great in it. Wasn't great for some of the games when I went back and played him. His voice acting was a little awkward, but that was the thing, that he played fully the character. Like even in the video games, there he was voicing Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So to me, that was definitely that's why I think Tobey, for a lot of people, shine, is that he was a little more invested and involved with it than like what we've gotten out of Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland, because like
it's like
they have not been part of the Amazing Spider-Man games. Did not have Andrew Garfield at all voicing the character, and
just dumb. I don't know why.
Neither do I. It really lost me there, considering they were basically movie adaptations, just then with some extra stuff kicked in. But
I think it was explained. I don't know. I was talking to my brother about it. I think, from my understanding, Tobey Maguire played a really good Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield played a really good Spider-Man. Well, so like,
yeah, he definitely, like, throughout the two movies, like especially Amazing Spider-Man 2, I always got the sense that he was more he just kept wanting to go off and be Spider-Man. He didn't want to be Peter Parker. Yeah. He just wanted to go off and be Spider-Man the whole time.
Andrew, you mean Tobey Maguire?
No. Andrew Garfield's like I said, especially, and I said this when I first saw the movie, was that he always felt like he wanted to just run off and go be Spider-Man, like almost 24/7. He was ready to do it. While Tobey was definitely more of trying to strike that balance of, he was trying to be Spider-Man. He was trying to live up to the promise that kind of was not the unspoken promise between him and Uncle Ben, with great power comes great responsibility. Right. And he was trying to live up to that. He was kind of trying to balance the two lives still, of secret identity and superheroing and stuff like that. And that's where it got a little more, it got partly explored with the second movie. They kind of did the whole Spider-Man
Why did they butch? Yeah. Why did they butcher the second one where Gwen falls from the clock tower, not the bridge?
Well, that was for Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah.
You're talking about the Amazing Spider-Man 2? Dude,
yeah,
I was about ready to walk out at that point, but then I realized, we're at the end of this stupid movie anyways. So,
right. Because
because you took one of the biggest moments in Spider-Man's life and null and voided it, because you gave, for one, a definitive way that she was killed. It was not a question. It was not of any, because it was, Gwen's death was still kind of early-ish in Spider-Man's life, but not super early. He'd been fighting a lot, taking on a lot of supervillains and everything, but it was still a question for himself when that happened of, was it me? Was it the web? Was it the way she was falling? There was a lot more questions brought up, while in that they made it very cut, dry, and clear. And again, wrong Goblin.
Well, that's
Harry
the thing.
Osborn and not Norman Osborn. And that to me is a very big piece of that puzzle.
Because Norman's the one that killed her. Norman's
the one that got her. Norman's the one that got her killed. Norman was the one that was the most vindictive, and just after Peter's life, they hadn't quite brought him in yet. So for that movie, and they overbloated that movie real fast with a bunch of different villains and everything. So it was just a mess. And for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3, like Wookie says, Sony themselves ruined the third movie. Yeah, they again studio interference on that one. They forced in some characters that they weren't supposed, or they shouldn't have. They should have just left it as, I think it was just meant to be more. It was just meant to be Sandman and probably Harry as more centered villains. Venom just got forced in there. So that was the unfortunate thing about that.
I think I don't know. There's too many villains, but again, like I don't know, because they made, you know, like Batman, like Dark Knight Rises, which, like I said, I love Christopher Nolan. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I do have my issues with him as far as like Dark Knight Rises. I think it's just the most trash movie ever. I hated Bane. Not that I have anything against Tom Hardy per se. I think he was a terrible Bane. And then like Dr. Crane, the guy, you know.
But he has so many wonderful memes.
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't know. So it's like they just need to focus on one villain. Let's do one villain.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, they definitely needed to focus things a lot better than they have. But that just seems to be the problem with a lot of these. So getting back to this. Raimi has long been attached to a fourth Spider-Man project, with Sony even pushing the film into pre-production point. The filmmaker has now said he's down to return to such a project, especially after shooting a multiversal project like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Quote, I've come to realize after making Doctor Strange that anything is possible, really anything in the Marvel Universe, any team-ups. Raimi said last year when asked about another possible Spider-Man sequel. Quote, I love Toby. I love Kirsten Dunst. I think all things are possible. I don't really have a story or a plan. I don't know if Marvel would be interested in that right now. I don't know what their thoughts are about that. I haven't really pursued that, but it sounds beautiful. But even if it wasn't a Spider-Man movie, I'd love to work with Toby again in a different role. Spider-Man No Way Home is now streaming on Stars. Okay. Oh, that must be some deal with Sony, because I know Sony still retains them rights to Spidey. They still have them, not Marvel.
Well, there's
all 10 episodes of Twisted Metal, on the other hand, will hit Peacock on July 27th. So yeah, that was just, it was just basically like Static said, it was just kind of the Sandman actor just kind of popping off a little bit. Well, nah, he's just kind of like, hey, if you're gonna do one, I'm there for it, sort of thing. So, hey, that's at least cool. There's some enthusiasm, I guess, or just hey, I need an acting gig, please.
Yeah.
But, you know, honestly, I don't necessarily, especially in today's climate, I don't want a Spider-Man 4. At least not like the. I like Lowell from Wings. Tommy Zane Church is great. He's done a lot of interesting stuff too, but hey, he's great in Wings, and I thought he was good for Sandman. I thought it was good. Just unfortunately, the rest.
I liked it. I like.
Yeah. Crimson Raptor, 600 gigabytes of RAM. I'm something of a computer scientist myself.
Yeah.
No. When it's again of the situation of just let sleeping dogs fly. Just you know, we had it. It had its time. They did 3 movies. They were attempting a 4th. It didn't get off the ground. All right, fine. And I know a lot of new interest was sprung up thanks to No Way Home, and they were very kind to Toby's Spider-Man. Like he says, he even says how he basically says that he still has his relationship going. They've gone through their trials and everything, but they're making it work. So it still means that him and MJ are together, and him being like, and like it was, I'm kind of torn on that movie, but I did think that it was nothing but key jangling. So, and I'll admit I'm biased toward. I love those. I still love those Spider-Man movies, even as bad as 3 was. I still enjoy them. And I could honestly, and I liked how Toby kind of his Peter Parker was kind of almost like he kind of acted like a semi mentor, especially to Andrew Garfield. He kind of gives him a little pep talk and kind of talks him up, and it's like, no, man, you're amazing. I like that was a good little moment, and I think they could do potentially a iteration of Spider-Man that they did in the comics, which was for Spider-Girl, who was Mayday Parker, his daughter. They could do that with him, I think, and they could probably do it well. They don't have to have him in the super suit doing Spidey things. They could. That is very much, if done well and done right, or just done right in general, they could make a pretty good adaptation of that comic book series that was done, where Peter retired, became kind of like a cop, or kind of I can't think of the word, but he worked with the police department and stuff like that, because he and Norman Osborn had one giant final battle, lost his leg, and then he retired the webs, and just went to, I think, like I said, God, it wasn't that long ago, I was rereading through those comics too, but kind of became a consultant, I think it was, for like the detective side of the New York Police Department and everything, which I thought was a good little thing for him. And then then he kind of, when his daughter was showing signs of being, I don't know, you can say a mutant, but she had the ability for to be to have the kind of those powers passed down to her. So she was kind of starting to now be the new Spider-Girls. Eventually he kind of relented and was like, yes, here is your Uncle Ben Reilly. It was Ben Reilly's old suit. And it was like, well, you know what? Here you go. This can be now yours. We're passing that on to you. And it is extra little kind of legacy thing that was really kind of cool. There was a little bit of weirdness in that book, especially that they had suddenly decided to have Felicia Hardy be in a lesbian relationship. So I would definitely make some changes to those stories and adapt it a little differently. I probably wouldn't have Peter have lost his leg. I would maybe still make him a little more ready to still kind of don the webs if need be, for maybe if like the first movie wasn't quite big, you gotta bring him back in a bigger way for the second film, sort of thing. But I could see that working out, like I say, if done properly. But I do not foresee that. So to me, I'm just like, let's just not. Okay. And I feel like we could do another Spider-Man 3 for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but things felt like they got tied up enough with No Way Home. He kind of got that redemption arc. All right. I think that's fine. Honestly, if we could just focus on one for a while, please. I'm not a big fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I don't like that they completely removed Uncle Ben from the storyline completely. To me, he's that element. It's like suddenly removing Bruce Wayne's parents. You don't do it. Uncle Ben is like that key person in Peter's life, and they tried to instead hand it off to Aunt May. So that, to me, that was kind of like their little bit of agenda pushing right there. Cool moments aside in that movie, that still really chapped my hide a great deal. And like it was, I didn't even catch the second Tom Holland Spider-Man until, God, well before. It wasn't until the No Way Home was coming out. I was just like, after the first movie, I was done. I wanted nothing to do with that particular version of Spider-Man. I remember I only checked out Infinity War and Endgame because you, Hitman, asked me to check it out to get you wanted to hear my opinion on it, I remember. And yeah, not too big on either of those two films, and he still wasn't quite winning me as Spider-Man. So let's see here. Crimson Raptor, it said, I wonder if they'd bring back Rosemary Harris or just open the movie with Aunt May's funeral. She's almost 96. Bro, that's kind of a downer. That would be a real gloomy, kind of glowering way to open the start of a flick like that. I don't know if you'd want to take that direction necessarily. Maybe want to. I don't know, but I mean, you'd want to honor that character because she was basically your old school OG Aunt May, and then she just kind of got progressively younger as time went on, and then we got what's her face for the three movies? God, the Tom Holland Spider-Man Aunt May. Oh, I forget her name. I forget her name at the moment. No, I know you don't want to see her die on screen, Crimson. I'm just like, it's just the idea of like opening up to a funeral. It's just like, oh, dude. And then you'd obviously have to show the tombstone of whose funeral Peter's would be at. You wouldn't know initially. It's like, oh no, was it Mary Jane or who could it have been this time? So that would just be like, oh, dude, I could. That's just like, man, it's kind of a bummer way, bro. You're like really just like going for tugging at the heartstrings, especially then if you kind of like have Peter standing there and you kind of play sound clips of some of the dialogue of Uncle Ben giving to him from the first movie and everything, and then also her giving him words of encouragement. Oh God, especially like the Spider-Man 2 when she's selling the house and getting ready to move out. She kind of gives the little pep talk, helps him out, kind of gives him that courage again to try and be Spidey once more. Bro. Oh, this would be a hell of a way of doing it. Oh, I mean, like I said, that'd be a hell of a way of opening it. Probably be good. I mean, it's if done right. But then that's like everything. That's like if anything is done right, it can be really freaking good. And that is sometimes a big F. All right, I'm trying to wait for Hitman because he's heading up. Oh, what do you speak of the devil and he shall arrive?
All right, sorry about that.
No, that's fine. I'm just glad I managed to ramble on for that long.
No, you did great, man. I was listening, but I had to get all the way to my room, and now I can be focused.
All right, focused and unpointed. Okay, so here was another one of the topics that I basically had for the show. It's part of the thumbnail. Oh wait, hang on. Picture it, black screen. With great power comes great responsibility. And I believe there is a hero in all of us. Fade onto the tombstones. Okay, I'm done. Oh, dude. Those aren't tears. I swear. I'm visualizing that too. And it's like, oh, especially when you got it basically like very similar to the scene in the at the end of the first Spider-Man, or even when they're at the graves and everything. Oh, dude. All right, enough of this. No more. I'm sick of talking about death. I need to have that clip. Anywho, this was something that is always funny that it gets brought up. So here we have Back to the Future co-creator addresses the possibility of a fourth movie. Speaking of fourth movies, seems to be a string of that going around right now. But Back to the Future trilogy screenwriter Bob Gale weighs in on whether another entry in the franchise's canon will ever get green light. Back to the Future co-creator Bob Gale recently indicated that fans shouldn't get their hopes up. And him and Zemeckis have been very consistent on this. They've been very much in the no way in hell, which is to me just like, thank freaking God somebody out there has some sense. But not to get their hopes up for a fourth installment of the classic sci-fi comedy franchise. Gale, who wrote Back to the Future with director Robert Zemeckis and has sole screenwriting credit for its 2 sequels, shot down the possibility of Back to the Future 4 in an interview with Variety. Quote, people say, why don't you guys do Back to the Future Part 4? He said, quote, when they say that, they're saying, I want something that makes me feel as good as the original did. That's what the Back to the Future stage show is. That's the feeling you're going to get here when you see this show. There's no need to go back to that well. You've seen too many people go back too many times. As I've said many times, the characters in Back to the Future are my family, my children. You don't sell your kids into prostitution. Lucas, bro, you could have taken some advice from this guy. Gale's protectiveness for the Back to the Future franchise stands in stark contrast to star Michael J. Fox's more modest appraisal of the property's artistic merits. Fox, who portrayed protagonist Marty McFly, suggested that Back to the Future is quote-unquote overappreciated by its fan base in a previous interview. At the same time, the Hollywood icon also expressed fondness for the trilogy's devotees, acknowledging how gratifying his experiences at fan conventions are. Quote, I thought I was doing this for the fans. This is totally for me, he said. This is a pig out for me. How much these people have given to me. Michael J. Fox on rebooting Back to the Future. Fox also thinks highly enough of Back to the Future movies to be wary of any attempts to redo them. Asked for his thoughts on a hypothetical Back to the Future reboot, the star argued that such a project is unnecessary. Specifically, Fox questioned whether today's filmmakers could come up with a better take on Back to the Future story, insisting that there's nothing in the original movies to quote-unquote clarify. He also praised Zemeckis and Gale for not attempting to reboot or otherwise revisit the franchise themselves either. Now, to some degree, they kind of have, because last I knew, Bob Gale was writing some of the comics for Back to the Future, and then he did write and they did do the Back to the Future Telltale game, which wasn't bad. It was okay, but it was definitely like, yeah, this was entirely unnecessary. It was a storyline that didn't need to be told, even though it was kind of giving more backstory to Doc Brown and kind of, I guess, fleshing out more of his character, which I didn't feel like it was necessary anyways.
Why do we have to reboot everything? We live it like just.
That's right. Looking like there was the Back to the Future cartoon. I remember that. I remember getting the DeLorean car in a Happy Meal, and the little sparks in the back of it too. And I think at some point I either purposely removed it or it just came off. Is either Marty or Doc was hanging out the side of the DeLorean, and I took them off because I'm like, I just want the car. Let's see. So finishing this off, That said, Fox also recognized that control of Back to the Future may ultimately lie with Amblin Entertainment and Universal Pictures, and not the franchise's co-creators. Should either of these parties decide to move forward with a revamped Back to the Future outing, Fox previously opined that it should be headlined by a gender-swapped version of Marty McFly. Bro, really? Come on. All 3 installments in the Back to the Future trilogy are currently streaming on Fubo. Nothing needs to be done. In my book, those 3 movies, fantastic. Perfect. Don't need to touch them. Don't need to add on to them. They tell their story. Marty goes through his journey. Marty goes through his whole story arc. He matures and grows and you get to see the final progress in Back to the Future 3 when he does finally kind of let go of being called chicken, and it's finally that moment of, oh, there we go. He picks up everything through each movie, but it's like, oh, that's that one last little kind of thing that was still getting him, but he grows past it. And even for Doc, kind of the same thing. He gets to grow and he become in the 3rd movie, finds a love interest, and they have kids and everything, and he's still off doing his thing.
Right.
So to me, no. I have the physical copies of the movies still. I have them backed up digitally as well, that I play occasionally on my hard drive. I love those movies to death. They are kind of those for me, the comfort movies that I love going to. And just what I just love rewatching regardless.
So why do it? Why reboot them?
Exactly. And I'm really glad that at least Bob Gale and Zemeckis have been very consistent in trying to maintain no reboot for this movie franchise. And I hope that they keep sticking to that. They are able to hold off the big companies from trying to do any kind of reboots, because I know for one, I wouldn't be watching it anyways. They can put it out there. I wouldn't go see it in theaters. Okay, so maybe I'll admit I'd maybe have a demented curiosity as to what they do, but I wouldn't see it in theaters. I'd wait until, again, hit the high seas.
Yeah.
And then, that way. But otherwise, no. You don't need to mess with something that was perfect. That was perfectly done. It's a fantastic one of the. To me, that is the trilogy. I can't say that for Star Wars, because Star Wars is 6 movies.
Yeah. Well, yes. True Star Wars, 6 movies, yes.
Exactly.
Not, depends on who you ask. But we all know that it's truly 6.
So, yeah, I'm really glad that at least, like, that, I mean, it's not surprising that Jay Fox would kind of say that. Unfortunate, but,
how much are they paying?
That's why I don't get too hung up on being celebrity worshipping, so. Sorry, go ahead.
How much do you think they'll pay him? How much do you think they'll pay him to come back and do it?
I don't know how much he would have to get paid to do it, because it's like his Parkinson's and everything makes it really tough for him to do public events and stuff like that. I mean, over time, it just gets worse and worse and worse, last I knew. So, I mean, it would probably have to be a shit ton of money.
Right.
Or maybe he'd just do it for the sake of doing it. I don't know. I mean, he has gone to cons and stuff, so I can't imagine they pay a whole lot. So it'd be a very curious thing. But like I said, it's not surprising. It's just unfortunate, but it's to be expected with anybody in the Hollywood machine.
So stupid.
Martina
so
McFly.
stupid.
We're over 30 years removed from part 3. As many plot holes as there are, it's fantastic trilogy. Leave it as it is. Exactly. Honestly, like, some of the plot holes, I like, my brother and I, for fun, have nitpicked it a little bit here and there. But I mean, problems aside, Like it really is still just a fantastic trilogy. Crimson, I guess being called chicken in 1985 is like being called racist in 2020. People hate being called that until they learn it means nothing. Effectively, I mean that's a good analogy for it for from a current year. That's like any word. You just have to, and that's kind of like that's basically like what kind of Doc expresses to him. You can't just keep flying off the handle every time somebody says a certain word to you, and that's the whole point. I mean, what is that? Like the what kids would say? I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever he says bounces off of me and sticks to you. There are all these ways of going. Your words mean nothing to me. You have no power here.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, now your words are supposed to have so much power over me. No, fuck off.
well, that's why they have to cancel everybody. You could just ignore them, but
well, that's what you do. You just basically give them the finger.
It's like
and move the fuck on, and you're like, no, you don't. You have no power here.
That's what Microsoft's doing. That's why Microsoft is doing what they're doing, moderating to make sure everybody's being, kind. It's like, shut up.
Exactly. Gotta tard Nicolas gamers. I believe this was. Hang on, let me just double check my notifications really quick. Pretty sure Crimson sent me this. Let me just double check. God, so much. Goddamn, I've been tweeting like a fucking 15-year-old girl. Jesus. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was Crimson Raptor. You sent it to me.
What he sends?
It's this demented-looking Yoda. So Home Depot, 3.5-foot animated LED Yoda for the holidays. We're already getting holiday shit, people, because this is from 2 weeks ago.
Our wise little friend is getting festive. It's the all-new animated holiday Yoda.
For the festivities, you will.
Very wise with season's greetings is he. With much
That
Jedi
is
excitement
horrifying.
you'll see.
This is not cool. Do not like this one bit.
All your guests. And his knowing eyes see who's been naughty or nice.
Quit looking at me like that, Yoda.
Together we will.
May the holiday spirit be with you. And the all-new animated holiday Yoda.
Yeah, so 3.5-foot animated LED Yoda.
That's absolutely terrifying. Who comes up with this stuff?
Disney and Home Depot, apparently. Nightmare Yoda. For $200, can't they make it stop shaking? The lightsaber didn't even light up all the way. Didn't? I guess he's kind of right. It didn't, huh? Oh yeah. It's kind of dull lighting and everything in some parts. Kind of look at it, it's like, yeah, it kind of loses its light in there.
God.
Have fun together, we will.
Please don't ever play that again. Please don't make a short out of it.
Have much fun together, we will.
Like,
oh my god.
It's the most terrifying thing I've seen.
Crimson, you sent that to me. I'm just hate to do it, brah.
I have a meme. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. It was like it was a meme of Yoda. It was a Christmas decoration, but basically he's killed all of like the elves and everything. If I can find it, but it was pretty funny. It's like this in the subtitle was like lazy Christmas decorations or something. So the basically the elves and everything were like deflated, but Yoda was blown up, which was kind of funny.
Crimson Raptor saying, "I did. Thanks for another sleepless night." You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Happy to provide. So here's another thing that's been so I didn't subject us to anything regarding the current Ninja Turtles. It's bad enough I've seen the trailer. But it seems Paramount is from Bounding in the Comics. Paramount counts their chickens before they hatch. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem sequel and TV series in development. Right now, all they're doing is, or at least they were doing PR until the the actor strikes. So they were promoting it for a short time, but it seems Paramount's getting a little ahead of themselves. So Paramount appears to be taking cues from Lucasfilm and is counting their chickens before their eggs have even hatched by greenlighting a sequel to the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem film, as well as a TV series before the first film has even hit theaters. That is really getting ahead of yourself.
Did you watch? We didn't watch this trailer, did we?
We did not. No.
Oh yeah, not good.
Variety's
Brent. Mike says not good, but
Variety's Brent Lang reports Paramount greenlit a sequel to Seth Rogen's upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem animated film, as well as a 2-season animated series that will serve as a bridge between the film. Wow. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem director Jeff Rowe will return for the sequel. As for the 2-season TV series, okay, so they have it as a limited series. Now, that's not necessarily a bad idea. That keeps things maybe a little more tight, a little more concise. But, I mean, we still haven't even gotten the first movie yet. And if Seth Rogen's behind it, that especially to me is a lot of red flags. But anyways, as for the 2-season TV series, it will be helmed by Chris Yost and Alan Wan. Voice actors Micah Abbey, Shaman Brown Jr., Nicolas Cantu, and Brady Noon will reprise their roles as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in both the planned sequel as well as the streaming series. Well, at least they'd be keeping that consistent. At least that's the plan. Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon CEO Brian Robbins informed Variety in quote, in the nearly 40 years since TMNT launched into the zeitgeist, it has entertained generations of fans and only continues to grow. He added, quote, "We are excited to grow TMNT's legacy in partnership with Seth Rogen," oh God, "and Evan Goldberg at Point Grey and Jeff Rowe, who are innovating the franchise with their singular brand of humor and elevated storytelling for audiences everywhere across virtually every platform." Paramount Animation and Nickelodeon Animation President Ramsey Naito also added, quote, "Reinvigorating this franchise has been years in the making, and we are thrilled to continue expanding the beloved TMNT universe and bringing new adventures to families and fans." With some Tardo Turtles and a race-swapped April O'Neil. Can we stop killing the
what?
Oh yeah, you can't really see
I did not see that. I didn't see that in the trailer.
Yeah, they race swapped April O'Neil. She a black woman now. Paramount.
Why is it a thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I can only guess with all the terms that are out there, the ESG stuff, the diversity, inclusion, equity crap. Are those the reasons for everything? Supposedly. I mean, well, not supposedly. I mean, it's basically been in documentations for a lot of these big corporations and what they're trying to push. So when it comes down to it, that is what it is.
They're going to turn Mara Jade into Mark Jade.
Mara will be a biracial trans paraplegic.
I don't understand it, and you can't say, "Well, it's racist." Well, you can't say it's racist to like, "Well, it's racist to have Mara Jade be white." It's like, no, it's not. That's how she was created. Like they created her. Like that's not racist. But maybe I don't know. Maybe they do think it's racist.
Yeah, they'll jump right up your ass about it if you try and question it. They've already been doing that with a bunch of stupid shit. Paramount previously announced back in February 2022 that they would be expanding on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, with Nickelodeon Animation creating a, quote, series of exclusive movies for Paramount Plus beginning in 2023, each centering on one of the property's storied villains in never-before-told tales. It's unclear if these movies are still in the works or if production and budgetary concerns have shifted over the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem sequel and the 2-season series. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem reportedly has an estimated production budget between 70 and 80 million. That means the film needs to gross between 175 and 2 million worldwide to break even. Initial long-range box office predictions for the film from Box Office Pro claim the film will have a domestic opening weekend between 27 and 36 million, and that it will go on to earn 101 and 145 million domestically. That is getting, I don't know, potentially ahead of yourself, but kind of the theme of this article.
We should.
I mean, there's a lot of estimations and a lot of predictions and not a lot of, hard evidence for what it's going to do, considering the current climate of the way the economy is and everything. So, I mean, all we can do is wait and see, considering freaking Barbie has been blowing up. So much for go woke, go broke.
Well, it's Barbie, man. Everyone wants to go see Barbie.
Apparently. The last time TMNT were in theaters was back in 2016 with the live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. The film only grossed 82 million domestically, but brought in another 164 million internationally. Excuse me, for a global gross of 245 million. The last Turtles animated feature to hit the big screen was TMNT in 2007. I finally got to watch that film not too long ago. It was okay. That's all I can say. But I'm just more of a fan of the original two movies that were done. The film grossed 54.1 million domestically and another 41.9 million internationally for global gross of 96 million. The highest grossing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was 2014's version. The film grossed 191.2 million domestically and another 293 million internationally for a global gross of 485 million. That was the Michael Bay one. That was dog shit. Absolute dog shit.
Which one?
The Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It was the first
was that the one with Megan Fox?
The Megan Fox one. That was
which
bad.
Is interesting because didn't she call Michael Bay a Nazi?
Something like that, yeah. I think that was after this movie, or was that before this one? Or was that during the Transformers?
I thought it was on
stuff? I don't know.
I thought it was during Transformers because she wasn't welcome back, but then she.
Right. Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right. But yeah, I don't know. They like you said. That was entire. And I was already complaining in in AJ's on his stream about the over design of the turtles. Even to this regard, I sometimes feel like they're over designed, considering like Donnie with the glasses and everything, and just the overemphasis on certain characterizations that are being worn instead of maybe like expressed through their actual personalities. But that was where they were definitely dialed it up to 11 with the silly over designs on the turtles. I say keep it simple. You don't need a lot. Just that. Keep it simple. Given Box Office Pro's current long-range predictions, it looks like the films will be profitable. However, profitability for one film does not mean moviegoers will want more of the same. The perfect example of this is when Lucasfilm announced that Rian Johnson would get his own Star Wars trilogy ahead of the premiere of The Last Jedi. There has been neither hide nor hair of the film since the initial announcement, despite Johnson and Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy claiming the film is still in development and they are just having scheduling issues. It's been over half a decade since the initial announcement, and that excuse most certainly does not fly anymore. Wow, has it really been almost half?
Well, does if you're Kathleen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what do you make of Paramount greenlighting a sequel as well as a TV series before TMNT Mutant Mayhem arrives in theaters? Are they counting their chickens before they've hatched? Yes, I would certainly say so. I think you'd want to first release the movie, see how it does, and then you can go on from there. Like, yeah, you can kind of have your plans. You can have things written up and everything, but you'd first want to see just how well it's going to do first. Because to me, considering who's behind this project, like Seth Rogen, what I've already been hearing about it, I'm not exactly too enticed. I won't be seeing it anytime soon until, like I say, it maybe gets delivered to me in some form. But otherwise, nah. And I don't know Sorry, go ahead.
Well, so like the one thing I'll say about this, because when I went to go see Oppenheimer, fantastic, by the way, Christopher Nolan. Anyways, they played the trailer, and so the one thing I will say that this movie has, and I think the reason why this movie is going to pull in a bunch of people, one, obviously it's Ninja Turtles. Two, it is of the same animation of that like Spider-Verse, which they did with Spider-Verse, like that cartoony comic book. Like I can't put a name to the type of graphics, but it's literally, I would akin it to like
it's like a weird kind of CG cell shaded look.
Yes. Yeah. And so though I was preoccupied during the trailer, because I thought texting was more important than watching this cartoon and I didn't know Seth Rogen did. I didn't know he had anything to do with it, but I don't really know of anything that Seth Rogen has done other than Pineapple Express. And
I couldn't get through that movie.
Neither could I. So I'm curious to see how well it does. Hopefully Nickelodeon will do will kind of act in the same capacity that Mario, the Illumination, or Nintendo did when they, because as much as I had my issues with Mario, but they were going to do some shenanigans with that movie, and Nintendo said, no, you're not. So they protected the character, the integrity of the character. They apparently
toned down certain things, yes.
Right. So my only hope is that maybe Nickelodeon will do the same and make sure that, Paramount doesn't screw it up. But so Seth Rogen, is he the director?
It sounded like
an executive director.
But I know he's acting in it too. Like this right here almost makes it look a little cool. Like that they have like the whited out eyes like they do in the comics and everything. Almost makes it look a little cool. I won't lie. Let's see.
Yeah. Boy, howdy, they're pushing those toys, and those toys are getting shopped through.
Boy, howdy, you're right. All right, hang on. Let's see here. Oh. I have no idea who the actual director is.
I'm very curious.
So
James
directors,
Franco,
Jeff
James Franco.
No, Jeff.
Bezos.
Directors are Jeff Rowe and Kyler Spears. Writers Seth Rogen,
Brittany's...
Evan Goldberg, and Jeff Rowe. So Seth Rogen has written this.
I guess we'll see. So let's see how it goes. I'm very curious.
The funny thing was too, with this freaking movie, is, and I was surprised I didn't get any like hit back for this when I was calling it out. Hang on, let me I put it up on the twat. The question is, can I find it quick enough? I've been posting a lot of images. And it's just such a silly and stupid thing too. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. I found it. So apparently, Raph here was the fat kid. Here's Raphael, and then here's his little kid turtle form. He was the fat kid, apparently. I was like, and I said, so Raph was the fat kid? Quote, ... Really? Isn't that isn't that negative stereotyping of some kind? And isn't this anti-body positivity? Ninjas can be any size, right? Fuck off with this.
I don't know if I've seen this toy in this store.
I did. That's how I got the picture.
Maybe. Did you? You Turk. You went there. You went there. Hold on. Stand by. Sending you this.
Sending you back.
So pumped. Sending you another one.
But yeah, I just like, really, we're gonna get he was the fat kid, so he turns into the angsty kid later on. Like, come on, dude.
So I guess when I watch the
stupid. I mean, he's a freaking turtle. How is he gonna be a fat kid? Sorry.
I don't know. I didn't see Shredder in the trailer, so I don't know who the villain is.
Actually, I think they're taking a different approach.
What a
I think it's Baxter Stockman. I think it's Baxter Stockman that's supposed to be the enemy for this movie.
Is he the one?
Shredder?
Hold on. Was he in the Michael? Was he the Michael Bay film? Was he Kevin Bacon?
He's the fly mutant guy.
He was in freaking Batman versus Ninja Turtles. He was working for freaking Shredder.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if he does work for Shredder. I'm not too keen on the Ninja Turtle
does.
lore other than Shredder. And...
apparently, Tom Connors just gave TMNT a 3 out of 10. Gross out dumb reboot. That doesn't surprise me considering it was written by Seth Rogen.
So should we not watch this movie then?
Hell fuck freaking no. I had no intentions of it.
I don't. I'd say go if you want to go watch Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's fantastic.
I was gonna say if I'm gonna watch Ninja Turtles, I'll go back and watch the first and second movie from the 90s.
Oh my god, you can't beat them. You cannot beat them.
No, you can't. Those were practical effects. Yes, you can kind of see some of the stuff from the suits, but I mean, otherwise, they look freaking
Shredder
fantastic.
Used to
still
terrify me as a kid.
Oh, especially in the
Shredder
first
used to
movie.
terrify me as a kid.
Dude, in the first movie, especially, he was actually like a threatening villain, especially at the end when he's just whooping the shit out of the turtles. I know. God. Yep, when they're on the roof.
And he
for
finds
the final
out,
battle.
and then he finds out the Splinter's one who Splinter calls him by his name when his mask is up.
Rokusaki.
Yeah, oof. It's just so sad because we sit here and we talk about this stuff, and it's like, what happened? Where have we gone wrong? Why can't we produce a movie today that is as good or is in the same ballpark as in the 90s?
Yeah.
Like, it blows my mind. And I know we talk about Star Wars and
the funny thing
done all
was
that, but
too,
even
the first movie was
this is
such a
animatronics.
Yeah, the puppetry, the advanced puppetry
It's
of
like, well,
freaking Jim
it's
Henson.
too
The Jim Henson
expensive.
company did. Jim Henson
Yeah.
company did that.
It's
They
like,
did
well, it's too expensive to
fantastic.
do. It's too expensive to do costumes. It's too expensive to do animatronics. It doesn't look good. No, we don't want to do practical effects because it takes forever. And we can save so much more money doing CGI. When in reality, CGI is so expensive to do. And the CGI today, like, oh my goodness. And I want to
Pretty
talk
sure
about.
at
I
this
just want to
point it's
bring
like
this
1
up.
to 1 for being expensive. It's just one's kind of easier to work with than actually building and making something.
Yeah.
Easier for them to just digitize it in a sense.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? It's like, so like when I bring up how like trash CGI is, so like I don't even know what the guy's name. Jason Statham. The guy, what's his name? I don't know. Is that his name? Jason Statham.
Statham.
He
Yeah.
played in the Fast and So there's this stupid shark movie called Meg. They're doing another Meg.
They're doing it.
And I'm like,
Meg
oh
2.
my! It's like it's Fast and Furious on water. But like I was watching the CGI. I was watching the CGI of this, watching the trailer for it at Oppenheimer, and it's absolute just trash. Absolute trash.
It looks like just a dumb kind of like, yeah, turn your brain off, watch a shark eat a bunch of people movie. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, sometimes you just kind of need your stupid movies of massive stupid things happening, like a giant shark eating people. My mom used to love those movies.
Okay, like there's a difference between I don't even like Jaws and like how can you?
Well, yeah, Jaws is a much different experience.
This idea is absolutely just asinine, and the fact that it got past production or it got pitched to a director and the director wanted to take it on, like, now I don't know if the director puts up the money. I'm not a film expert, but like, who put the money up for this film? Like, who pitched it? Who got the funding for it? And it's insane that it actually went to freaking film.
Yeah,
with the theaters.
Right.
It's absolutely crazy.
Isn't it baffling? But
the story, like, the megalodon is in a part of the ocean it's a barrier. It's like basically like, I don't even know. The shark lives in Atlantis. Might as well be living in Atlantis. I don't know. It's like a barrier, like it's a whatnot. So I don't know.
No, it's fine. Let's see. Static said, yeah, it was played by that scientist dude that I can't think of the name. That was back to the Turtles. I'm going with Jack Sparrow, says Wookie. And Static was saying, the black dude that Megan Fox initiates a conversation with in the beginning of the second one. I mean, that would have been possibly Baxter Stockman. He was a black dude even in the comics, so. But I never watched the second movie. The only reason why I watched the first movie was because of riff tracks. They made fun of the movie the whole time. That's the only reason why I watched it. Kind of like the sequel trilogy. The only reason why I watched the other two was because of them. And then he says, watches all the Turtle movies every year. Dude, I got them on a hard drive. I got the Turtles 1 and 2 on the hard drive as well. I don't have the third one though. I don't go beyond that.
Now you're making me want to download this movie.
The Turtles movies?
So I can have it on my phone.
Oh, they're great.
Oh, absolutely. I want to, like, they're probably still $19.
Secret of the Ooze gets a little goofy, but it's still okay. And the first movie is just fantastic because it's a blend of a great adaptation of the earliest part of the comics, and then also this kind of sprinkles in a little bit of the light humor that could be kind of reminiscent of the cartoon. They also give the Turtles the different color variants of the bandanas from the cartoons. But otherwise, it's very, very similar to the start of the comics. And then you got the animated one as well. Yeah, that was the 2007 one. Like I said, I recently watched it. It was okay. I wasn't too big on it. I just
you can buy the
yeah. I know that like I've seen in stores they have like the 4-packs again, which I've thought about picking up just to have for the sake of having physically.
I didn't watch the third one. Did you say it was trash?
The third one was bad. Yeah, because that like
was it?
Jim Henson Company wasn't doing the puppetry and the suits anymore. You could see it was very noticeable, and
not good.
It was weird involving them time traveling to feudal Japan.
Yeah.
Oh, Static! What?
I'm looking this
Static.
up.
I like the second Bay Turtles just because they finally did Bebop and Rocksteady. Krang sucked, but it's what I wanted. Power of the Ooze to be. Oh, Secret of the Ooze to be. I haven't watched that one yet. I really don't want to. I don't care for Megan Fox. And
I don't know. Secret of the Ooze.
What about it?
Oh, I'm saying I'm pulling up the movies.
Oh yeah.
So Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 35%.
Oh, fuck them. I don't listen to reviewers. Didn't need Fox or that dude at all in those movies at all. No, you just needed the Turtles. And wasn't that the dude that played the CW Green Arrow? He was playing Casey Jones in the second movie. Chris, how's it going, man? He says you forget the CGI animated TMNT. No, we were mentioning it. I just don't care for it. I didn't really care for it. Like it was fine. It just wasn't for it. It wasn't made for me. I personally just still prefer the first two movies. And I'm gonna have to watch this tonight. I haven't watched the other shows, but like the movies, for me, it's just the first two, and I'm good. Those are like the only ones I'll watch. Good old 90s ones. Call me a snob if you want, but those were the goats. Although it was jarring in the second in the Secret of the Ooze because they had a different voice actor for Donatello. Wasn't there the one where they had a female turtle? What was her like? Was that Venus or something they called her? I thought that was like the stage show or was that the Power? Yeah, the Power Rangers crossover. I think it's there was the TMNT Power and the Super Sentai crossover. And I think that's where the female turtle came in for. And those suits, oh my god. Talk about the suits looking bad. Those got god awfully atrocious looking. God, it's like there's a progression of looking horrible. And Static said, "Oh yeah, Casey was whatever." I was talking about the dude from Arrested Development. Oh, him. Yeah. That's right. He was oh god, I forgot his character's name they finally brought that character in too. I got I did not remember.
No, there was a Power Ranger crossover. I think there was was there a comic?
Yeah, they've done some comic crossovers too with the Turtles and stuff. I've thought about checking out that Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with Batman, because I think that one looked kind of cool. But I haven't watched it. Vern Fenwick was the character that Will Arnett was playing, who was from the 90s or the cartoon series from 87. Ah, those were the days. And I mean, that's the funny thing. Like, people have been talking about the whole, oh my god, what's gonna happen with the writers and actors strike? Bitches, you got like backlogs of media you can go back and watch and enjoy. Like, I was listening to Wookiee and Duke Devil doing their Nerds Only stream last night from Thursday night, and they went into going on about Stargate. I'm like, God, I gotta actually like get back to rewatching that series. I love the Stargate franchise. That's just so fucking good. Such a good series.
What about Babylon 5? Somebody was, I think, who was talking about it? Was Anonymous or Kilt?
Babylon 5 is definitely a show that has also some
Cajun,
early signs of some pretty some, as my brother and I have caught, they have the early signs of kind of current year politics, especially when they turn the Earth nationalists into the evil bad guy Yahtzee types, and they also are making basically the people that are on Mars who just effectively want to be left alone. They are basically like your evil Southern redneck Confederate type. Don't tread on me, sort of. Then they kind of make them out to be kind of the idiots too. And so like my brother and I were trying to watch Babylon 5, but with like some of that shit sticking out, they also have some of the LGBT Alphabet Alliance stuff thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of other kind of weird stuff floating around, and we're just kind of like, yeah, we're checked.
Absolutely not.
So we kind of dipped out, unless things changed in the later season. But that was where we kind of gave up on Babylon 5. We're like, yeah, no thanks. We get enough of this shit in current year TV shows and everything. We don't. No, thank you.
Right.
Although I know I would not make I'm sure open airlock Tim would have some words for me on that one, but I'm sorry, dude. It is what it is.
Is Tim a Babylon 5 guy?
He's a fan. Yeah, he's a fan. But I'm just like, bro.
See, I can't say.
This is the thing. Not everybody wants to see the subversion of what goes on in media. Not everybody wants to have certain conversations. And I understand. I get it. It's not what we all want to kind of dive into. And I get it. You don't want to pay attention to it. You just want to enjoy the media that you knew you enjoyed once upon a time ago and keep doing so. But you gotta kind of eventually open up your eyes a little bit and go, oh, so that's there.
Yeah. I want to say, I'm going to get this mixed up. It was either the Kilty Cajun was talking about Babylon 5 or it was Anonymous. I think it was Kilty Cajun last week. And so he was, in his opinion, said it was fantastic. But like I said, I've never seen it. I don't know how many seasons they did. Like, I've obviously heard of it, but I don't even know how many seasons they did.
They did like 5, I think.
Was it 5?
Together? 5 and like some special movies and stuff tying up the storyline and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently, I mean, to their credit, to the show's credit, they had a lot of things kind of laid out, planned out in case certain shit happened and stuff like that. But, yeah. And even like recently, the one of the head writers or whatever is kind of revealed his mask and everything. So,
yeah.
So so like once I started hearing about him more, I was like, oh, so now things start to make a lot more sense. Gotcha. But let's see. Chris was saying
hard to find good shows these days.
It really is. Was saying I'm mostly familiar with the 2000s TMNT show. I've heard a lot of good things. Like I think Razor Fist really pumped that show up when he did like a whole big kind of retrospective on the Turtles franchise. he talks a lot more fondly about like even the 2007 film. So, I mean, he'd maybe be more of a person to kind of get a positive aspect of it. And I have not, I honestly dipped out of the Turtles after the third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that was done, where they went back in time to feudal Japan. Even as a kid, I was like, yeah, you guys have kind of stretched this one a little far. And at that point, too, the cartoon had already ended. So there wasn't a whole lot of extra content. And I was not aware of the comic books. I just didn't have anybody around me or in my life or whatever to tell me, hey, there's comic books of the Turtles that you could be reading. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
And this was pre-internet days, so, didn't always find out all the extra details. And as Chris is saying, where Shredder was an alien, a mystic warrior, and a demon. Wow, he's just covering all the spectrums, isn't he? That's like a checkbox extraordinaire. But no, there was like a show like to definitely go back and like rewatch. I would definitely say I would love it. I think you could possibly enjoy Stargate. The movie's a lot of fun.
Stargate.
Yeah, Stargate's a lot of fun. Kurt Russell and oh god, what's his? Hang on, let me get it. Kurt Russell and James Spader. Kurt Russell and James Spader, fantastic. It's a lot. It's like I said, it's just a really fun movie. The whole aspect of ancient aliens had come to Earth, captured up a bunch, and brought them to another planet after they were kicked off of Earth for enslaving the humans there. So they took humans to another planet, repeated the cycle, except a little more successfully this time. And then the whole Stargates themselves, the way they are first thought to only just take you to one planet, and then the TV show comes along and just expands on all of that. It's like, oh, it not only brings you to one, it not only just takes you to this planet, but when you got the whole dialing system for the Stargates, you can then go to a multitude of planets that these devices are on to help you travel to all these different parts. And you have to use they had to use the constellations and placements of different planets and all that help them be able to dial into these places. And then it was the introduction of the Goa'uld, the parasite organisms that take over human beings because they found human beings to be the perfect host for them. And they are like these parasites that have basically, they've assumed the form of gods. They're false gods, but they've assumed those forms to the people they've enslaved. So it's just basically kind of like Duke Devil was saying it that night, was that like some early, and they reference it like early Star Trek, where it is this kind of exploring new worlds and stuff like that. Except they also take that militant approach a bit for some of it, because they are up against an enemy force, the Jaffa, who are the soldiers to the Goa'uld, and they're kind of having to fight back against the Stargate Force, or SG-1 as their team is called, are kind of the leading team for it. So it's a good series. Like, there's only in the first season, there's one really cringy fucking episode, but you can just ignore it because it is literally a filler episode. You can just ignore it. And even in the first episode that they have for it, which is kind of like the pilot, they have Amanda Tapping's character, Sam Carter, deliver this whole line of, just because my sex organs I was born with them on the inside and not the outside, doesn't mean blah, blah, blah. Funny thing is that even with that stupid line, they eventually just end up making fun of it later down the line anyways, which I found was hilarious. But otherwise, the first season's good, and then it just kind of just keeps getting better and better as time goes on. They always do a recap episode of the current season, and then later on previous seasons to kind of get everybody caught up with the extra little details and stuff like that. It's a filler episode, but at the same time, it's still keeping with continuity because it's also still pushing the story along. So they always have one of those. That was like an early, besides like Star Wars, that was another early sci-fi show that I just embraced and loved to death. And I still do. And Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis are the best. You can
You're a Battlestar Galactica fan.
Okay, Static, I'll get to that in just a moment. I'm gushing over Stargate right now. Chris saying Stargate is the series, SG-1, Atlantis, and yes, Universe. Universe, I didn't personally like. I think they took it too far in another direction, going really dark. I didn't like it. And even SG-1, I thought they could have ended around season 8. Atlantis is fantastic. It's probably one of the best spin-off series ever. Because it still continues some of the formula, but at the same time, they do just enough to make things different. They change up the characters. They aren't just a copy and paste. They are different, and they still acknowledge and even bring in the original cast members from SG-1. To me, it's just an awesome series, and it's really good. It dials it up an extra notch, especially when introducing the new enemy called the Wraith. These kind of like blood-sucking, almost vampiric aliens that are really cool. Can't say enough about it. Universe, like I said, just kind of got overly dark, and it changed the tone too drastically for me. They tried to also make it like a little more raunchy and adult, which wasn't really a major thing, unless they had the what was her name? It was one of the Gao Olds that was kind of this like, she took on the persona of the love goddess. Oh God, I forgot her name. Hang on, because I think it's in season 1 that happened. Let's see. The Nox from season 1. I'll be damned. Hathor. That was it. Hathor. Oh, thanks. You had it too, Hathor.
Did you do Battlestar Galactica or no?
The new one or the original?
Oh, no, original. Can't do any new stuff.
I need to go and check out the original series for Battlestar Galactica.
Did you watch the new stuff?
I tried to, but I didn't really get into it. I'd have to try and give it another go. It's been a long time. And I just don't think I think it was shortly after losing Atlantis that I decided to check it out. I think I was still in the mourning phase of losing that series, so I might have
what beats what? Battlestar, Stargate, or Babylon?
Well, I'm gonna say I much prefer Stargate. It's definitely the least
political.
Yeah. No, because they technically deal with a degree of politics because they're the Air Force that is in charge of the SG-1 of the Stargate program, so they still kind of deal with certain political aspects of things, but it's not like the whole gender identity politics and stuff like that. So it's nothing quite like that. They just kind of deal with more like the broad idea of like just how goofy our political system can kind of be, especially with certain senators and stuff like that.
I think you can find all Babylon 5 for like $99. I've not seen Stargate 1 though, because they still have the box set you can get.
Yeah, I know they have Stargate available for it. Oh God,
Apple's gonna buy everything.
So here's what Static sent. And AJ and Ego were talking about this on their stream. A Xbox pizza-centric controller. How does it work?
Attach the pizza battery cover to the controller. Insert 3 AAA batteries into the scent diffuser. Then add 1 to 2 drops of the perfume vial into the central pepperoni with the white cotton pad. Turn the diffuser on, then it's pizza time.
Pizza time.
Attach the...
That cannot actually be that good. Like, that has to be a funky ass smell.
You never know.
Like the funkiest of smells. No, I don't know. That's true. You're right, Hitman.
You don't think it smells good?
Why would you want one of these controllers? No fake pizza smell. It smells never good. Yeah.
Smell like a fart.
I mean, I wish it would give it like. Okay, here we go. I mean, I guess for just the front design, I guess, but does it come with pineapple?
Bro, I bet you this. I'm gonna see if this is on Amazon. I'm gonna buy one tonight.
Oh my god!
And then we should buy one, and then we'll do a review.
You are an evil man.
But, dude, it probably smells like a New York pizzeria, dude. Honestly, Dave Portnoy should be 1,000% marketing this.
Oh my
Barstool,
god!
get on this, bro. They had a little like, what do you like? It has to smell like pizza. Like I don't like. There's no way that it cannot not smell like pizza. Or I guess it could. I don't know.
I can't imagine it smelling like pizza. It's gonna be like some weird artificial smell for sure. Yeah,
Bruh,
so those pizza parts in your face.
I mean, if it's
As
pepperoni,
said, how's it going, man?
I kind of want one.
Why am I not surprised?
I'd be playing Call of Duty, and then my KDR would go down because I'd be
It's gonna
hungry
be
for
a face
pizza.
full of chems.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Pizza
Chris
chems,
was
dude.
saying SG1
Unless
is
they-
going to continue on Apple, but Sci-Fi, Syphilis, put a nail in that possibility because they had exclusive rights at the time. They were going to continue with the Lucian Alliance. Oh. Huh. Yeah, I'm just kind of glad they kind of put the nail in the coffin for that one. Well, at least for now until they reboot it. Remake of Battlestar Galactica is a slow burn, but it's fun. Stargate also has a New Hope nod in the show when they attack Anubis's super weapon. I think I remember that. But it's been a while since I've gotten to that point in the series again.
How many times have you watched it?
Oh god, I can't count. But like it is, I always get to about like season 7 or 8 because that's basically like the midpoint where they introduce the aspect of going to the Atlantis project, and so then I'll switch over and start watching Stargate Atlantis. Oh, you have to win one for the controllers.
Oh, that's dumb.
So try and win one.
How do you win? I need to get the video. I'm gonna win one. I gotta figure it out.
I'll get you the link.
But if I do it, you gotta do it too. And then Wookiee has to do it, and then Static has to do it.
I'm sure
and then
Static's
Spartacus
already
does.
in
So
on
we have like 5 chances of winning. Tweeting it out now. Everybody.
One of the comments saying this seems like some deranged thing birthed from an AI prompt. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Wookiee's gonna win, and he's gonna get the pineapple pizza smell.
Lordy, lordy, lord. Okay, here is at least the link to the tweet. I'm dropping into private chat. There you go. "10 years from now, did you own the pizza farter? Then you are eligible for compensation for nose cancer." Oh, I can hear the commercials now.
Man, I really want to try to win one of these. I'm so focused. How do you have to do it? The world may never know.
Yeah. Here's
like who genius. Absolutely genius. Like, how's it not genius? That is genius. I don't care what you say. A TMNT Xbox controller that gives pizza smells every time you kill a boss? Absolutely. Or are you just able to control it on your own? Or do you have to defeat a boss? Bruh.
Uh-oh, he's getting excited for it.
Dude, you kill one of the Foot Clan members, and then you just get a whiff of, or maybe that's your adrenaline, your shot of adrenaline.
There you
epinephrine. Go. Take a whiff of pizza, and then that's your special kill streak.
Oh boy. Well, we do one more, or what do you think? What do you got in you? Hello. Health regen. Oh God. I don't know if that works that way. Not quite like that, that's for sure. I don't know how well I would be able to take that. Take a whiff, puke, and pass out. Did he die? I don't know. Hitman, you back with us?
I think I'm back.
Okay, yeah, sounds like you're back. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Well, it doesn't have pineapple.
I smelled the pizza.
He smelled the pizza. In all TMNT game, pizza was a health regen. Oh yeah, it was.
That's legit.
Yep. So what are you thinking? One more?
Yeah.
All right. Here's another
I'm down.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, we kind of got an extra out of the Spider-Man thing. I didn't even plan on that one. Apparently though, John Boyega changes tune. Now open to return to Star Wars. Quote, "I'm open to all opportunities." You think he is really? Has he not been getting much work since the Star Wars days?
Yeah.
So in November 2019, Boyega responded to a Twitter user who posited, quote, "John Boyega is the most useless character in current Star Wars franchises, but you don't hear him say anything at how bad that writing is." Boyega responded, "I have those discussions on set." And so supposedly so did Hamill at the time. Back in 2020, Boyega spoke with GQ about his experience in the Star Wars trilogy, where he lampooned Lucasfilm, saying they sought to bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's no good, it's not good. I'll say it straight up. He added. Well, that was basically everybody's, and people were behind that 100%. Everybody thought his character got done dirty hard. He continued, quote, Like, you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. You knew what to do with Adam Driver. Did they, though? I don't think they did.
Man,
I mean, you say they
no,
did,
absolutely
but I don't think they did. You knew what to do with these other people, but when it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to John Boyega, you knew fuck all. Dude, I mean, I'll say they didn't. Your character got hosed. Kelly Marie Tran, they knew what they were already doing. Freaking Rian Johnson, he had his idea in mind with what he was doing with Star Wars, which was basically to shoot it into the freaking space like he did with Holdo and that stupid maneuver.
Don't remind me about that.
Blew that shit away. So what do you want me to say? What they want you to say is, I enjoyed being part of it. It was a great experience. No. Well, you did, didn't you, though? You still did all the little PR and crap like that and went along with the tune. This is, again, where my problems came with Hamill. Yeah, he was complaining, but he was still showing up. It wasn't like he gave the finger, Steve Austin style, and walked the fuck out. For how the characters that they were playing were mistreated, misrepresented, or whatever. Neither one of them, with their problems that they had, walked out. They stayed there.
No, because for the money. They needed the money.
Oh, absolutely. Let's drop this moral posturing, shall we? Says, I'll take the deal when it's great experience, he said. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver. Dude, there was no... Come on! All the nuance to Daisy Ridley? Come on! Let's be honest. Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows. I'm not exposing anything. Man, he's given the writing of those sequel movies way more credit than they deserve. He's more of a hype man than anybody else. In 2021, Cinema Blend reported that Boyega did a Q&A promoting his TV miniseries Small Axe, where he described working on Star Wars as luxury jail. He said, quote, being in a big franchise is kind of like luxury jail. Sometimes for an actor, when you want to do something else, the actor elaborated because remember, in a franchise, you're working on one character for many years, which can starve your muscles. Interesting. That's one take, I guess.
Very.
Now, speaking with Tech Radar, Boyega acknowledged his past comments, saying, quote, that those comments was a few years ago, so they were subject of that particular project. However, he noted he's now open to returning to Star Wars. Quote, but I'm open to all characters and scripts that are enjoyable. Have a great cast attached and a terrific director. So yeah, I'm open to all opportunities. No. Hold. What was it you were saying earlier, Hitman, about having some principles? No. Hold to your shit, man. No. You wanted to talk all that crap? No. You have to live with what you said. Be responsible. Take responsibility for yourself and your words. You have to live with that shit now. Sorry,
No, I agree. Like, but it's the same thing about who was the actor? Oh, it's like Gina Carano, man, saying that she'd come back and reprise her role of of Cara Dune. It's like, now I had thought that he talked out about like how they treated his character. Maybe I was hallucinating, but if you did, it's the same concept. Like you parted ways.
Well, it's
you
had more like these comments came after the fact,
right?
That comes. These are coming. Like those were coming after the fact. I mean, like I said, Hamill at least was talking shit during the promotion of the movies. In a sense,
yeah, but he just
said like all of the other
real
characters.
Quiet.
Oh yeah. Well, and then it like went quiet, and then he still kept showing up for Mando and shit like that, and he still kept showing up for Rise of Palpatine. So you're full of shit, Hamill. You could have walked off
No,
at any
Hamill,
time.
like,
You could have walked off at any time.
absolutely. But then he just
Like
went with, he just was silent.
I was all for him, and then I was like, wait a minute. He's not taking any real action. He's just talking a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's open. Boyega's comments come in the wake of Lucasfilm announcing the return of Daisy Ridley for a film set around 15 years after the rise of Palpatine at Star Wars Celebration 2023, and that has been really quiet since. I mean, they did go through all the effort of dragging her out like a good little puppet. Did what she needed to do, but it's been quiet since then. And I know we've had the actors and writers strike, but even prior to that kerfuffle, things were kind of quiet. Wasn't like they were really like popping off with like, oh yeah, we're really excited to get going on this. Because we've been keeping an eye on the news and stuff like that. We weren't seeing a whole lot.
It's crazy. It's been 15 years, man.
Right. A press from Lucasfilm announced Kathleen Kennedy then revealed that Star Wars will head into the future with a new feature set 15 years after the last events of the Rise of Skywalker. Or Skywalker Saga, sorry. Charmin Obaid Chinoy, oh god, yeah, her, will tell the story of rebuilding the new Jedi Order and the powers that rise to tear it down. The director then delighted fans by welcoming Daisy Ridley to stage, confirming she will be reprising her beloved role as Rey in the upcoming movie. Rey Skywalker. It's quite possible Boyega is now angling to try and get a role in that film. What do you make of Boyega changing his tune and declaring he's now open to returning to the Star Wars franchise?
Bending the knee.
Bending the knee, kind of like Crimson Raptor said. I'm open to all opportunities. Sounds unemployed and looking for work. I think that kind of nails it right there for old Boyega and what he's trying to do here. You had your opportunity, dude. You screwed the pooch. You wanted to come back so bad too. You probably should have kept your mouth shut. But at the same time, as we were saying, you should have held to some principles and been like, all right, yeah, you're done. Why, just wipe your hands clean of it, move on. But because you wanted a moral grandstand. You wanted to act, act all in a way superior to it. Like, oh, well, I knew what I needed to do with the character, but they didn't. They just wouldn't let me. They only had plans for the white folk. And look where it's got.
I mean, and like to his point, like he could be right, he could be wrong, but like you took the stance of doing that, and then it's what it comes down to is like principle. And like I said,
it's exploded.
I don't want anybody to be without work or without money or whatnot. But like, if you disagree with a company or a production or whatever you disagree with, don't go running back. Like,
don't bite the hand
stand
that
your ground.
feeds you.
Like, well, yeah, but
anyway, Static 2020 saying Boyega is so full of shit. Chris said, lost all my respect during BLM when he basically said screw white people. He was for living in the UK. Yeah, I'm sure they whatever. Fuck him. Crimson Raptor must not bother him that much if he's willing to come back. No, exactly what we're saying. They didn't know what to do with Daisy. She's a Skywalker. She's a Solo. She's a nobody. She's a Kenobi. She's a Palpatine who self-identifies as a Skywalker. That's what I'm saying. They didn't know what the hell they were doing with her. Smarticus is also saying, please, no one is giving me a job. Please. Duke Devil coming in with, you pay me enough, you pay someone enough money, they'll come back. Does anyone really think Ford really wanted to play Han Solo again until he got a suitcase of money? Exactly. That's very true. That's very true.
Right.
And I mean, that was a fun, like I've said this before. When Force Awakens came out and somebody was like, got a little kind of like, when I was asking about it, so what do they think? And they were like, oh, well, no, it wasn't bad. It was, they thought it was good or whatever. And then like, they're like, oh, and there's a big death in the movie. I'm like, what? Let me guess. Han Solo fucking dies. And she's like, yes. I'm like, of course he did. Because Ford has hated Han Solo for what I don't recall the exact reasons. I'm pretty sure it's been out there, but he's never liked the character. He wanted him to die since Empire. So it really didn't surprise me that, oh yeah, by the way, Han's dead. Or Han dies in the movie. But yeah. And then he does right, because then Ford returned in Rise of Palpatine as a Force ghost, or he was an illusion or something to Kylo. I don't know. It was weird. It was stupid.
How much do you think they gave him to come back and reprise his role as Han?
I think that was the promise of doing Indiana Jones 5. Yeah, 5. Little did he know what he was signing up for that one. But again,
I can't wait for us to do.
Go ahead.
I just love to do a review of Indy 5 next week and see what it's doing in the theaters.
We already reviewed it. Oh,
I meant to see what they're doing, like their box office and everything.
A retrospective sort of thing, yeah. Duke saying,
well.
powers that rise to tear down Rey's Jedi Order. Anyone want to bet those powers will be the patriarchy? You'd be probably spot on. Especially with the, was it Shinoi? Where she gleefully said how she likes making men uncomfortable. That is openly. And again, and like people have pointed out, flip that. Have a man saying how much he enjoys doing that to women. What kind of trouble would he fucking be in? Crimson Raptor, they're spending over $50 million in pre-production for the Acolyte. With all of Disney's financial woes, I'm not sure this movie sees the light of day. I don't know. You know, it's really right now, especially things are kind of in a weird limbo state. But if this is kind of also like a little pet project from Kathleen Kennedy, I wouldn't count it out necessarily. So I'm definitely in like a lot of these situations with everything that's going on. Definitely in a wait and see what happens. Spartacus saying, I saw Han's death when he called out to Ben. Like I said, I knew he was dying in that movie. Like that was the first when I heard there was a death. Oh, it was Han. It was Han for sure. Acolyte, where there will be more Jedi than ever before. Just forget about the prequels. That was what I was thinking too. I'm like, how do you outdo all the Jedi that we saw during the prequel era movies? Like that was the creme de la creme of being a buttload of Jedi. I mean, Jesus, the Battle of Geonosis and everything. Come on.
I'm surprised that there's still not any type of conflict in the Acolyte.
I know, little to no conflict, dude. That video has blown up. Because I trimmed that segment from last week of us talking about it. Hang on. I was just like, I was shocked because like I've been like responding to people that have been commenting on it. I'm like, holy shit! Like a non little YouTube short. I'm like, holy hell! But I don't know how well you can see it, but yeah, we got like
let's see here
1,500 views on it.
Let's go! So pumped.
People have been commenting. That one's kind of exploded. I'm like, holy shit! I'm so happy.
More about Acolyte.
No, all I did was trim it out. I didn't do any special editing or nothing. Hey, I'm just always shocked that
Nothing.
I mean, God, we have got. I mean, this is incredible, and it's whoa. Okay, and this is thanks to like everybody that's in the chat right now. You guys are madmen. You're awesome. So thankful because I mean, Jesus, I didn't think that we would have made it past 10 subscribers. We're at 130 now.
Absolutely.
We're at 130 now. And the videos that have been pumped out have been getting more than just a single view, which I'm like, holy shit. I didn't think. I mean, I said to another commenter, I'm like, we're just two madmen screeching into the internet. That's how we've generally seen this. We're just a couple of madmen screeching into the internet. But
literally,
hey, you know, it's pretty cool that, you know, there are people that are wanting to listen to hear what we have to say. It's kind of cool. What can I say? Bit of a ego boost, I guess you could say. But
it's just fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun. And playing games and shit like that. Hell yeah. So that was, I think, God, I wanted to check out a fan film because I've been trying to keep up with that, and I have something, but I have to be up early for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I mean, God, we've gone 3 hours. So
doesn't feel like it, man.
It really doesn't. Exactly.
Like
having fun and playing games, says Acid.
Yeah. 3 hours ago, I was just laying at the airport.
Having fun and playing games. Absurd. I know.
How dare you?
I know. I'm about to break my controller. I've been on the same boss for an hour. Dude.
He wouldn't be if he had the pizza controller.
That's right. If he was powered by the scent of fake pizza, he would be able to win.
Pepperoni pineapple pizza, my guy.
Damn right. Damn right. No, that was actually the funny thing. Is like 3 hours. EFAP is still breaking down Secret Invasion. Insane. They're kind of on my shit list because they actually had.
Why?
They actually said Andor was good.
Oh my dear.
They're coming from the aspect of a whole other side of it. Like we come at it from fans, we come at it from knowing EU lore and stuff like that. They aren't. They're going at it from a storytelling perspective and everything. I'm sorry, but I fully disagree with them. I tried listening to their EFAP stream of Andor. I couldn't get through it. I kept wanting to like reach through the internet and go, "What is wrong with you?" Might have to get Rhino on, and we might have to like watch and discuss it. I know he's wanted to do the same thing.
Andor is not good. Anybody? I can't.
Acid saying, "I've been watching wrestling, the man sport, like WWE, AEW. What are you talking about?"
I'm saying AEW.
It started during the Legion stream. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Duke saying, I give Andor credit for not relying on the volume as much as the other shows. That's about it. That is about all you can give it for, though. That really, and I think we made those comments too. Like we were like, oh, the sets actually looked like they were put together and properly made and stuff like that. It wasn't just, it wasn't just a CG Mass Effect volume thing going on. But that was like it. That right. Like you say, that was all we could give it credit for, and that only lasted so long.
Yeah. So, we still didn't know where his sister is.
Wrestling. No. He got kidnapped in Stockholm Syndrome by a crazy lady. And her freaking lover gets raised by them, completely abandons the sister on that planet, forgets about that whole storyline altogether. Oh my god. I don't want to get into Andor though. Good lord. Make fun of wrestling. At least it pulls more than WNBA or Women's World Cup. Well, that's not. But I was asking. I wasn't making fun. I was just like wondering: is it like the WWE, AEW or like actual Olympic wrestling, like proper wrestling, not the entertainment wrestling.
I was gonna say AEW.
Didn't make it past episode 3 of Andor. You were the smarter person for not going further than that. We tortured ourselves. Well, I mean, we had fun ripping into it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. AEW tonight.
Nice.
Women's sports so bad they have to bring in fake women. This is true. All right, guys. Thank you all. Spartacus, Acid Stormblade, Wookiee, Duke Devil, Static.
Everybody.
I think vanished earlier. AJ was here. Crimson Raptor. You have all been wonderful. Chiefster, thank you for all stopping in. I mean, again, this has been a hell of a thing. Like this year, especially. I don't even remember how I got acquainted with some of you madmen, especially you, Wookiee. I forget how we all got introduced. We all just kind of converged, and it's been really cool. Things have just been kind of exploding. It can't be more, so crazy. Just for kind of doing this so casually. I don't understand why you guys hate yourselves to watch Star Wars knowing it's going to be bad. It's the love of Star Wars and kind of having to see where it's gone. And kind of where it's going and where they're trying to take it. It's a weird thing. Like Rhino's kind of explained it a little better. So, but it's this, yeah. I mean, I gave up on it, but I blame Hitman. He dragged me in.
Me? You're the one to do it.
Static says it's Wookiee's fault. I blame him for everything. There you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. This was a fun ass stream, and thank you to anybody that's watched the replay and stuff like that. Because I know we've been doing crazy numbers even on some of the streams. It's been awesome. Jason was here earlier. Thank you to him as well for stopping by early. And guys, thank you so much. Hitman, do you have anything going?
No, I want to piggyback on that. Thank everybody. What we do is it's fun to get on here and ramble with each other, but you guys make it that much more fun. So we can, like I said, talk to each other about just shenanigans, but it's the interaction and having you guys in here with us that is makes it even more memorable. So appreciate each and every one of you.
Absolutely.
Other than that, no, I don't have anything going on.
Because of work
have better connection issues next week.
Awesome. I probably won't be doing the Monday thing with you guys, Static and Wookiee and Acid, just because I think I have work really stupid early. My brother does. I forget because we commute. So it's either this week or next week. I think it's next week. Hang on. Let me check the schedule. Okay, I might be still good this week, but otherwise, Wednesday I will be doing my usual Wednesday morning System Shock play. I know Static was watching me play last time. I finally found the decapitated head that I needed to progress the story. I found it on off stream, so I could continue next time. I think I'll be getting towards the end of the System Shock remake. Looking really forward to that. And then Thursday, I may or may not be playing Fable or Final Fantasy. I don't know. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do with that. And I'm going to try and do more streams throughout the week, but I can't guarantee anything right now. Otherwise, Thursday, I've usually been joining Static and Wookiee and Duke Devil for the weekend pregame. So I don't know what he's got planned this week, but it should be a riot as always. And if I happen to be appearing anywhere else, check out the social medias and I'll be dropping those links. Otherwise, and then of course next week will again be Saturday Night Sith. So yeah, everybody, thanks again, and you all have a very, very great night. Bye bye.
Love it. Bye.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring. The one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, that put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter rage!